No, not yet.
We're live.
Now we're live. See, it says you're live, but until the screen like becomes bright like that, you're not actually live. Now you know. What's up, everybody? It's Bear and Ami of the Bear Independent Channel.
You look that
You look a little tan, sweetheart.
I am.
Just a smidge.
Florida was good to me.
Just a smidge.
Yes.
Florida was good. Why don't you tell the folks what we did?
We hung out on the beach
We did.
a lot.
What you do in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Up until
we
now,
did that and we went to lunch at a place.
it's pretty much what we did.
Yeah.
The Panama
The
City
same
Beach.
place.
What you do
Yeah.
every day?
Oh,
You
yeah.
go someplace?
And then we drove to Tallahassee
We did do that.
and we hung out there, did class.
We did a class. We did two
And then-
classes.
Yeah, did 2 classes. And then we had a free day because we had done a lot of driving. And
we took a 0 day.
yeah, 0 day. And we went to the batting cages in the arcade,
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
and
I love that.
Aspen got a blow up monkey.
Yeah, she did. Mr. Monkey.
Mr.
Blow
Monkey.
up monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you squeeze
It's
him and
about
he
like-
squeaks.
Yay, tall,
That was
inflatable
fun on the way
monkey.
home. For
I want to
Yeah.
get
Is it
the.
here?
Have you
Oh,
seen
no,
the
no,
chicken?
survive.
The
It's,
giant rubber
I
chicken.
think it's here.
Okay.
You squeeze it and it like goes like for like.
yeah, have you
Yeah.
heard the chicken songs? There's people that make songs with
sounds
those
out of it.
chickens.
It's hilarious.
I'm a person that makes songs with chickens.
No, you kill chickens.
You
But
should
they
silence
make
them.
songs.
I have many a time, mostly on Patreon in the mornings, the Tuesday, Thursday Patreon live streams. Usually there's some electronic dance chicken music that happens. Because there's that one over there that has
Oh, yeah.
perfect meter. So it's like, you know, it's perfect. It's like it's a metronome, basically. Indeed.
Indubitably.
Play some drums to it on the table.
Of course, always.
Oh yeah, there's a whole.
Well, dance music drums are pretty easy. If you could slap the table in time, it's handled. So, hi everybody. Hello in the comments. Hello, Blue Wrenches. Sergeant Storms, what's up? Block 316, JC. Guns and Diesel. What's up, Guns and Diesel? So, we're back, and we're going to give you all some updates on the channel, some updates on the store. Then we'll do some Q&A here in just a moment, so hang with us. The first update that we have is tremendous. That whole 17 lives saved thing
It
Yeah.
just happened.
that just happened, nope. We're going to need new shirts for instructors. 18 lives saved. We are now at 18 lives saved. Praise the Father. Shout out to everybody at the store that builds the kits. Everybody at the store that orders the stuff, everybody at the store that does the shipping, everybody, like the whole team. Shut up, dog. Otto von Bismarck right here in the background, pretending he's tough. And shout out to y'all for being out there in the world and using our kits. And so I wanted to read you a bit of the email that came in on the 18th Life Saved. I'm going to sanitize it a little bit. But email said, "Good morning. I hope this email finds you well. The purpose of this correspondence is to relay the following information regarding the use of your Bearfact product during a call for service in the blankety blank Virginia area. I was dispatched along with my partner to a shots fired call in the blankety blank area of our jurisdiction. Knowing the area, I anticipated that this was likely going to be more than fireworks. While on the way, I grabbed my rifle after more information came in that there was a dramatic increase in the number of shots being exchanged between the unidentified parties. We were the first on scene and cleared the street of any immediate threats. We found a significant number of casings as well as a wounded man and a car that had seen better days. Initially, I thought he was dead, but my partner was able to get him talking, so I rushed back to our squad car to get my med kit. After working through March P, which is an algorithm taught by the Navy and the Marine Corps, which is essentially tactical combat casualty care. It's a care under fire type of thing. March being, the standard algorithm that we teach. The the front P and the back P being essentially the safety of yourself and the safety of the patient. So it's care under fire. After working through March P and sweeping for additional injuries, it was determined that he only had 3 injuries. 2 were extremely dangerous, while the third could potentially kill him if any bone had nicked an artery. I ended up using the 2 chest seals provided in your pack to seal the wounds to his abdominal and thoracic cavity. I had to play with the placement somewhat to cover both holes, since I only had 2 chest seals and he had exit wounds to consider. Pause. This is why in our 4-hour and 8-hour classes, we teach the use of improvised occlusive dressings, including the wrapper that the chest seals come in. So, but you can certainly add additional chest seals. So back to the email. Ultimately, it worked out, but I plan on carrying at least 4 seals in the future, possibly 6 if they fit. The leg was treated using a tourniquet. Medics took over at this point, and the process was a quick one. Without looking, I would guess maybe 3 to 5 minutes, including clearing the area, retrieving my kit, and cutting off his clothes to treat while maintaining 360-degree security. I made a few mistakes, and while I had inventoried my kit when it was given to me by my father, I hadn't touched it in a month or 2. Be familiar with your kits, people. That slowed me down looking for the chest seals. I almost went with the abdominal seals, but thought better of it. It was extremely dark, and I had to use my light to even attempt to find it. However, because your product was neat and organized, the time lost was negligible, and the feel of the chest seal packaging was distinct. The seal was fantastic due to the adhesive. I caught myself being surprised by the quality of the seal itself during application. Weird, but you notice things. It was better than what I had in my old CLS bag. That's why it stood out. My understanding is the man lived and is recovering. Back in 2010 to 2011, I was a combat engineer and had some decent training from the Corps CLS, Combat Lifesaver Program. I certainly benefited from their intermediate live tissue course. It made a big difference on that deployment in one particular moment, and the training has stayed with me, however imperfectly. You guys are making a great product. Being able to pull out the whole package and unroll the kit makes a big difference in the dark. One of the best Christmas presents I've gotten, although I'm sure I gave my dad a heart attack when I sent him a picture of the empty chest seals. I had to do some damage control on that one. Respectfully, blank, beat cop. So, 18 lives saved. Praise the Father, and super awesome. That's why we do this. It's believe me, it ain't for the money.
No.
I emailed him back and I told him about using the packaging that the chest seals came in, and he's like, "That's it. That's awesome. I'm going to remember that for next time." So
literally, we teach that in class, in the 4-hour and the 8-hour class, which we'll touch on in a minute. But Twitch and Richard go over that in every class. What happens if you run out of chest seals? What do? You can use the packaging from the chest seals. You can use the cellophane that's on the nasopharyngeal airway. You can duct tape a credit card over the hole. There's all kinds of things that you can do to seal the box, close up the pleural space. So
One hit on again. We do this to save lives. Like, that was always the original goal of starting that side of the business, was to save lives. As long as we were making what we needed to make to run the operations, it was about saving lives.
Yep. Praise God. So in celebration of that, tonight through sundown tomorrow, sundown Central Time, you can use promo code 18lives, 18 LIVES, 18 lives, for 18% off a bare fac, a bare minimum, the adventure kit, the smash kit, and the crash kit. The smash and the crash are for maritime and vehicle use, 4-wheelers, boats, trucks, Jeeps. They come in Pelican cases, and they were designed in conjunction with a client of ours who is a professional Baja racer. And so if they can go for 1,000 miles at 140 miles an hour through the desert, they will definitely work in the back of your Jeep or the back of your everyday driver. But again, that's promo code 18lives, 18 LIVES, for 18% off the bare fac, the bare minimum, the adventure kit, the smash kit, and the crash kit. And you can find those at refugemedical.com. They're also in the store at bearindependent.com. And that's why we do this. I mean, I'll tell you, I've got like 20% headroom in our pricing. We're giving you 18% off because I don't know what we're going to do if we get past 20 lives. I know, we'll raise all the prices. That's a great business model. But anyway, great job to that beat cop. And Forrest has already been in touch with him to replace the chest seals and the tourniquet that he
Got a
used.
fun box.
He got a fun box?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's some good stuff.
That's awesome. So, you know, and that's another thing is if you use the kit to save a life or to render aid and you let us know, we want to know, and we want this real feedback from the field to know how do we improve our product so that we can save even more lives, and we replace what you used so that you come out of pocket for the kit once. After that, I mean, we have sent at a loss, you know, business-wise, basically full kit replacements to people that have saved a life with the bare fact. I don't care. That's why we want them out there in the world. So, roger that, Gary. Please pray for my daughter, Rachel. She went missing today.
Oh.
Okay. While we're handling business, let's handle the Father's business. Father Yah, we beseech you on behalf of our brother Gary and his daughter and your daughter, Rachel. I pray that your will would be done, that you would return her home safely and soundly and intact, Father, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually intact, Father. I pray that you would guide the hands and the hearts and the minds of everybody who is looking for her, that you would be with the first responders and the police officers, firefighters, EMS, sheriffs, search and rescue, everybody who's involved in this, Father, that you would be indwelt in this situation, that you would put your hand on these people, that you would guide them, that you would put them exactly where they would need to be, that your timing would be perfect, and that this would be nothing more but a speed bump on the road of life. I pray that you would be near to Gary and his family, that you would give them strength and endurance, and that you would keep them lifted up, that they would not lose heart, that they would not lose faith, and that this would be an opportunity to grow closer to you. And Father, that you would just steward that girl back home again. And I ask these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Well, Brother Gary, I'm really sorry to hear that. Obviously, keep us updated. I saw your text just came in, so let me know what's going on. Obviously, we will continue to Shalom NWA Prepper. We will continue to keep you lifted up, and if there's anything materially that we can do, let me know. Yeah, that sucks, man. This is, you know, and this is one of the things about our channel that I think is different from a lot. I've had a lot of people say, "Hey, Barry, you don't seem to pray as much on camera anymore." I've addressed that on Patreon, but I will pray when the Spirit leads me to pray. No other time. I'm not interested in praying for show, to look good, or to make other people feel good. But believe me, every time I get a prayer request, if I don't immediately lift it up in prayer right there, it stays on my heart. And when I am in the process of talking to the Father, I do beseech him on y'all's behalf. But we are not going to simply go through the motions here. Oh, it's the end of the brief. Must be time to pray. Yeah, that's too close to box checker mentality faith for me. And so when the Father punches me in the forehead and says, "Hey, it's time for you to pray, to lift your brothers and sisters up," I do. But I don't do it. I mean, Yeshua himself, Jesus says, "Hey, man, first of all, this is how you pray. You pray simply and humbly, and you ask the Father for his will to be done, and you give thanks for everything that he's done in your life. Right? And give us this day our daily bread, not give me this life, my 401k or my new Lamborghini or my, 8-bedroom, 6-bathroom house or whatever." Just give us this day our daily bread, to come humbly before him and ask that his will be done. And I want to meet him on his terms, not my terms or anybody else's terms, if that makes sense. So,
if you have an 8-bedroom house, should you have an 8-bathroom house?
Sorry, Fo. Yes, at least 8 bathrooms. It's more like 8 bedrooms, 11 or 12 bathrooms would be appropriate.
People are sharing them.
Frank Puzzleman, shalom, brother. Ducks Garn Effects. What's up, Ducks? Thank you for that $5 bill. Archangel, shalom. Jimmy James. No, I don't do it 3 times daily, pointing towards the thing. I believe it's 5 times daily, brother, but no, I don't do that. Doctrines and dogmas of men is not something that I'm good at. In fact, I tend to be the opposite of that. 8 outhouses, but it's just buckets at the stream. Shalom, Ken Moreland.
15 bathrooms.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Is there anything on here you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I got a bunch of bullet points here as far as, we've been gone for 8 days, as far as, some housekeeping here at the channel.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody on Patreon. I could tell their heart was in the right place too. They're like, why do you keep posting? You're on vacation, be on vacation. And I'm like, man, for a workaholic, doing nothing is torture. It's not that I don't do anything. I just do far less. But I can't do nothing. This is something we just talked about. Like I have to do something, but it's got to be the right something. Robert Klein, bless you. Thank you. West Virginia Mountaineer, what's going on? My pastor says when people ask for prayers, he says, let's pray right now. Herman F. and I get that, but I want to, I don't know how to explain it other than this is a different dynamic. You and me and 465 other people than if you were sitting here on the porch and you came to me and said, hey, I need prayer. Okay, copy that. Like it's a different dynamic. And it's been the only reason I started praying on camera was because the Father punched me in the head and said I was gonna.
Right.
And so the only reason I'm gonna keep praying on camera is when the Father punches me in the head and says, hey, you're gonna. Carrie Stennett, how's Caleb House going? Thanks for all you do. Well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. July 23rd and 24th in Springfield, Missouri, there's a metal concert. Donnie O'Keefe, bless you, man. Twins on the way. Any tips on working 80 plus hours and helping raise twins? My stepdaughter. We will come around to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all deeply. Let's do Q&A here in a little bit. Let me get through a little bit of this business first. Donnie O'Keefe. Somebody remember that, screenshot that if you would, please. So Caleb House, July 23rd and 24th in Springfield, Missouri, there's a metal concert, a Christian heavy metal concert that's being put on by our friends at Bread for War, BRED 4 War. And every year they do this concert called Chains Unchained. And they select a ministry to bless with the profits, the proceeds from this every year. And this year they've selected to bless Grindstone and Caleb House. And so I will be there, right? Is that what we determined?
At least, yeah.
At least me will be there. Fo will be there. Okay. So I will be there on the 23rd and the 24th of July in Springfield, Missouri. You can go to chainsunchained.com. It's like a 2-day event. We'll have a booth set up. I'm going to bring a case of scriptures. We won't be doing any business on Shabbat. We won't be doing any business on Shabbat because we observe the Sabbath. But we'll probably be banging our heads, making our necks hurt, handing out copies of the scriptures, fellowship with people, hanging out. And as I understand, I have a block of time that's been given to me where the expectation is I need to get up and speak in front of everybody and tell them about Caleb House. So I'll be doing that there. But that's super cool. That's really awesome that they had the conviction to do that. Caleb House, we made an offer on land. We thought we were right there, and there was a counter offer, which was absurd. It was a ridiculous counter offer, and basically the people were trying to milk us for money. And so we walked, and then the other properties that we had identified didn't work out either. And so unfortunately, we're back on the land hunt. And so if you could keep us in prayer for that, we still need land. We thought we had it locked up, and we don't. And I probably should not have said that we had it locked up until we had it locked up. And so that's my bad. But we are back in the position now where we're still looking for land. And so please keep that in prayer, that the Father would provide what we're looking for. He has provided everything else that we've ever needed thus far. And so that's the physical side. We're still working with our architect. We're getting the drawings done so that we can do takeoffs from there and determine the cost of building these structures. And kettlebell, yeah, kettlebell
thing.
Bear, can I bring my hair and headbang with you? Yes, Chad, you can bring that hair.
Your
bro.
hair would be awesome headbanging.
Yep, for sure. Chad has, I mean,
just see it flowing through the
no
wind.
homo. Chad has beautiful hair.
Yes, he does.
But so we're still on the land hunt. We're still in the process of developing the actual blueprints for the buildings. I've been counseled by several people in the anti-trafficking industry that my plans of having this thing done by the end of the year were extremely ambitious. It typically takes about 3 years. Earl's daughter, Shalom, sister. It typically takes about 3 years to get the facility up and running with the governmental red tape and the acquisition of land and all that stuff. It's not an instant process. And because we're dealing with juvenile trafficking survivors, there's a lot more governmental hoops and red tape that we have to jump through, because we're essentially taking custody of these people who have legal parents somewhere. In some cases, we know who they are. In other cases, we don't. And in a lot of cases, if we know who they are the problem, or at least part of the problem. And in other cases, we don't. And so, but we continue to be blessed with the people that the Father is sending. We've had some really awesome opportunities to consult with international missionaries that are already doing this. And we are firming up which people go where within the organizational chart for Caleb House, that once the facility is built, then it's who's going to run it every day. Because the level of input, the level of involvement that I'm going to have in it is, I will not be in it every day running it. There will be a director of operations that runs it. There will be somebody who's in charge of the therapy, the care for these children, the education for these children, house parents to take care of these children. And so, yeah. And so all that's happening. And then there's a couple other things, much like the land that I spoke before I should have. There's a couple other things, one in particular, well, I guess it's really one thing that we're investigating hard and heavy. And I'm not even going to tell you what it's called yet, but if it works, if it makes sense for us to do it, it will fall under the banner of Caleb House, and it still has to deal with rescue and rehabilitation. It's 100% in that vein, but there's a lot of bad people out there who do bad things to children, and we are going to the best of our ability, by the hand of the Father, fix those kids, provide a biblical covering to those orphans. That's one half of the equation. The other half of the equation is bad people who do bad things to the Father's children. And so I'll just say that we are in the beginning stages asking the questions of what does it look like to be directly involved in stopping that as an organization as well. And so please keep all of that in prayer. I am not discouraged. The fact that the land fell through doesn't bother me a bit. It just means we need to keep doing what we're doing. In fact, I was sitting on a bench the other night in Jackson, Mississippi, asking a bunch of questions of the Father. And I said, hey, if you would just give me a sign, that'd be awesome. Because, you know, what do I do? Do I just keep going? Doug Bucher, bless you. Thank you. And one of y'all, a member of the Bear Nation, walked up, who I've never met before. Nobody had any business to know that we were in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Guy walks up, and he was walking into the front of the hotel, stopped, walked back, and said, hey, are you Bear? I said, yeah, I am. And he introduced himself. And he said, man, I really appreciate what you do. Just keep going. Thank you, y'all. So,
and then he went on to his room. He didn't fanboy out.
Never seen the guy again.
Anything like that.
I'd love to know if he's like a real person or like an angel.
Right.
Kind of an angel-like story. It's kind of that like the messenger game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what. So in the scriptures, it's translated as messenger of Yah, right? And I love that translation because it's literal. That's what angels do, right? They work at the service of Yah. They carry messages. They make his will be done. James Wolfe, thank you. Bless you. But it also means that we have the capacity to be biblical angels, to be messengers of Yah. We're not beings made of light who, you know, walk or go back and forth between the presence of the Father and here on earth, but we have the ability to bring messages of the Father, of God, to other people.
Well, it was like literally within 2 minutes of you asking for a sign, and I was in my vehicle asking for a sign, and
he's
bam,
like,
a sign. Yeah.
And he's like, if you don't get this, you're going to have to watch really bad comedy about here's your sign.
Jason Larimore, bless you. Thank you. Glock and Pop, bless you. Thank you. Jeff Naughty, what's up, brother? The indwelling of the Holy Spirit is a big deal. Amen. It's a huge deal. So that's where we're at with Grindstone right now. And I think it's important to understand for myself as well as everybody else, the easy part of Caleb House is getting the land and building the buildings. Not to say that that's easy, but that's the easy part. That's other
quick. That's the
clear pathway forward. Right. The difficult part is building the team that's going to make it their life to run this place and take care of these kids and provide that biblical covering. So, and praise the Father, he's no slouch. He's not left us hanging on that tip either. So,
the other night when we had the meeting about it and hearing how things can be and the expectations and what is necessary even more made me go, boy, I hope he doesn't call me to do that. And I hate to think that, but there's a moment of like, that's rough.
Right.
Bless you,
buddy. It was a very honest conversation.
And I'm like, I'm not capable of that right now. I'm not saying the Father can't provide, but it's kind of like, okay.
Well,
I like my spreadsheets. Right? I like my spreadsheets.
You bring up a really good point, because what the Father has required of me thus far has always been outside of my comfort zone. And, there's that cliche, he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And it's like, yeah, but that shit is scary.
Yeah.
But
I don't feel him calling me to do that, but then you're like, but there isn't the need yet. So,
but if you think about JC Collins, thank you.
He doesn't give us that much notice. In my previous dealings with the Father, he doesn't give me that much notice. Like a year, like he's like, nah, I scare you.
Yeah.
And he doesn't show me all the steps. Yeah. He shows me 1, maybe 2 steps forward. That's it. But if you think about, you got to be willing to take the steps, because 2 years ago we went to Panama City just to go help, because the Holy Spirit said, you will go help the Reverend Gilbert Abreu go feed people. And we went. And then we went, right? And then the first time there were 32 of y'all. 32 people we never met before standing there in bear shirts like, hey, we're here to help. What do we do? We had a $3,000 budget to go to Florida, feed people, operationally feed people for 3 days and then come home again. I had no idea how we were going to do it. We got home and still had $3,000 in the bank. And then the second time, it's like, all right, we're going back. We're not done. We went back. There were 64, literally twice as many people. There were 64 people there to help. And the Father has grown Grindstone from that. Heads or tails, bless you. Thank you. Yeah, it's better than a millstone would be tied around their neck. And so, but it's that trust of like, why are we going to Florida to meet people we've never met before to go do these things? And it's like, to see if when he says jump, you will say, yes, sir, how high? Because it's not that Caleb House has anything really to do with what happened in Florida, other than the depth of obedience that we were willing to bring to the equation of us and the Father. Because he has always provided what we needed, but he has grown his requirement for us to be in partnership with him and be obedient to him as we've done larger and larger things. So
he will bless the way. And like I say, he'll open doors for you. You got to be able to walk through them.
For sure.
You need action.
For sure.
So people always pray for stuff. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. It's like, you have to do the stuff he asks you to do. And it just will grow.
Yep. And yeah.
Tenfold.
Obedience brings blessing. Okay, yeah. We'll get to that in a moment. I do want to do Q&A. We're just doing this channel update stuff.
Somebody went back and said that they met you at the tally training.
And
said it was they were first responders. We can go back. And said it was a huge learning lesson that everybody should take these classes.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about that. Right now, we've got classes up in Paola, Kansas, which is outside of Kansas City, just southwest, I think south or southwest of Kansas City. And Angry Alansky, what's up, brother? Angry Alansky brought us steaks. Ken Warland, I have a special needs daughter, my daughter, and I have to jump through hoops. I can't imagine your hoops. Ken Warland, bless you, brother. Tell Phelps I said shalom. Hey, Angry Alansky says shalom. He looked at us puzzlingly.
I'm sure it may not have traveled. All of the words may not have traveled that far.
So we've got a class in Springfield, Missouri right now, and we've got a class in Paola, Kansas. Paola's this weekend. So you've got basically today, right now, you've got about 24 hours to get on Paola, which is Kansas City area. Mm-hmm. And then about a week. Well, here's the deal with Springfield. I really need y'all to show up, honestly. We kind of went out on a limb and booked this Springfield class, and I'll just be frank, the number of people that have signed up thus far isn't really profitable for us to go do it. So if you're in the Springfield area and you'd like to come party with us and learn when I say party with us, I mean learn actual medicine. Yeah. We've had everybody from Marine Corps combat lifesavers to ER doctors to nurses to civilians to career firefighters to paramedics and EMS take the class, and everybody.
Well, and just moms and dad,
right. Well, I guess what I was going to say is people who you would think it's their job to know this stuff are like,
I learned something new.
I didn't know that. In fact, the trauma doctor, I was like, what do you mean you don't know this stuff? He goes, all this shit's happened by the time they get to me at the ER. And then I had a moment. Yeah, he's absolutely right. But you assume, but I assumed that he knew everything that led up to there. Nope, not his purview. So, and then his wife 3 days later saved somebody's life with her trainer tourniquet that was on her back seat.
That was number 17, right?
That was number 17
She
in
probably
Indianapolis,
forgot to take out of her car.
which she probably forgot to take out of her car. So
Yeah, we've been known to party at these trainings.
What's the date for the Springfield class?
Springfield is July 18th.
Springfield, July 18th.
Yes.
July 18th.
Oh, so it's more than a week. I was thinking it was like bam, bam,
A
bam.
week
Yeah.
to make it.
Yeah. Doug Bucher, bless you, brother.
Yeah, we're only leaving it up for another week.
Yeah,
to
Springfield,
try and fill
Missouri.
more spots, and if we don't, then we're gonna.
We might have to,
unfortunately take it down.
do some refundage, but it's just business is business.
Well, since we're talking about training, do you want to talk about what's coming for training?
Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. So, with training.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. So,
He goes, does Phelps know about it?
am I about to like
just
Because-
drop some bombs on somebody?
Because Phelps is the ops manager for Refuge Training. So,
Hey, go for it.
And they may or may not have made decisions
Trying to make
while they
sure
were gone.
So our goal over the next 2 weeks is to basically plan out every training class that we are going to be doing through the end of the year. And we will have those posted at the store. So number one, you can see dates, you can see pricing, you can see location, and you can plan coming out. Now with that, we have primarily stayed in the Southeast and
the
mid-central
breadbasket.
America. We are going to be hitting
Boris,
all the regions.
Boris,
So-
you're good to go. There are literally bare facts on submarines underneath the Arctic Circle right now. Don't tell anybody. All the way to Afghanistan and Iraq right now. It gets a little warm there. UAE, they're heat resistant for sure. There's nothing in there that the heat is going to adversely affect. Don't set it on fire. That'll be a problem. But up to that point, you're good to go.
Don't go to the sun.
Yeah, don't throw it at the sun either.
So we're going to be hitting the Pacific Northwest, the Southwest, the West Midwest, the Northeast, East Coast.
Yep.
Jason Armour's like, Arizona.
Well, and that's a great point. If you are in a region where you want us to come, first of all, thank you for being that enthusiastic about us coming to train you. If you are, please email sales@refuge training. We need a minimum number of people in order to make it viable, not profitable, viable for us to come. Profitable is better than viable, but it has to at least be viable for us to show up. And so if you're in Arizona and you have some buddies that'll take the class, email us sales@refuge training.
And let's know like what's a good city to go to.
That's another great point. Yeah. So we have a certain set of requirements that we have to have. For the 4-hour class, we basically need a conference room, which can be accomplished at pretty much any Holiday Inn Express across the country,
It's amazing.
which is awesome.
It's like going to McDonald's. Everything's in the same place. Everything's
Right. And then for the 8-hour, which we have a new 8-hour civilian curriculum that's being worked out right now, that will be 4 hours of classroom, 4 hours of simunition, version 2.0. And so those we will likely do a Dallas class on that, a Pacific Northwestern class on that, and maybe a Georgia class on that, and potentially a Tennessee class on that. None of this is locked in yet, but we would absolutely welcome your feedback at sales@refuge training. If you want us in a certain place and you have enough people in your group to make it viable for it to come, please let us know. But within probably the next 30 days, we will have our training calendar for the rest of the year posted at refugetraining.com. And I don't want to go someplace and have to beg you to come there. I would rather go to where you are, knowing that you're going to show up. So as much feedback from y'all that we can get, that would be awesome.
Can I also add
they can't hear me, but if 3 or 4 people that they know are going to purchase a class, they can email me, and if we can work out with another group of 3 or 4 people who have emailed me or whatever, like I can coordinate that.
Right. So Phelps was saying that he can coordinate if you have a group of 3 or 4 people in your crew, and you're in let's say you're in Phoenix, Arizona, or whatever city you're in, and he already has been contacted by another group of 3 or 4 people in that same area. He can coordinate that and put everybody together to make a class happen. So that's sales at refuge training. And to that point, one of the things that happens at these classes all the time is people are like, Dr. Trevor Wilkins. What is a Phelps? That's not his name.
I heard
That
him
is
do
his
that.
name.
He has a training class out there. People sitting there going, Dr. Trevor.
So, the hell was I gonna say? It don't matter.
For
Oh.
taking it off.
No. That was
One of the things that
Is it
happens
ABT?
at these classes
ABT.
is that there is a lot of cross-pollination. So if you come in and you're looking for a group, we do a lot of matchmaking at these classes. And we do. And so if you're coming to the morning class, it might be worth you sticking around and hanging out until the afternoon class. Or vice versa. If you're coming to the afternoon class, it might be worth you coming a little bit early to mingle with the people from the morning class, because all of these people, generally speaking, are in the same geographic area. So if you're looking for people to do the prepper stuff with, well, here's people that know about Bear Independent, so they're at least somewhat into preparedness, who have a demonstrated interest in training and are in your geographical area. So if you're looking to make a match when it comes to a mutual assistance group or your prepper group, this is another great way to do that as well. So, yeah. Oh, Medic Mouse, we got to talk. I'm going to need a medic. Guys, look at the size of it. Bends if you hold it.
It's not the camera.
Look, this is, and by the way, guys, this is not this didn't come from a sex shop. This is a cigar. It is a Vaya con Dios Super Grande. It's massive. I think it's a Camacho. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and die.
Oh.
So this came from Medic Mouse, and if this is the last live stream I ever do because my heart explodes, we can all blame him. Guys, it's damn near a cubit. It's damn near a cubit long. It smells delicious, though. In Eastern Washington, North Idaho. Yes, Viking Plumber, we are coming to your region. Please stay tuned. We are coming to that area, so please stay tuned. Roll just for you, buddy. Roger that. Thank you. There's like there's a donkey missing a leg somewhere in Oklahoma. Oh my gosh.
The whole crop.
I don't even know if I could like get this thing to drop.
There's no to your own car. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a shop vac to get this thing started.
Yes. Should we be over here screaming, suck?
There's a Torah for that.
You're gonna burn me. Like I can't sit next to you.
Look at the size of this cigar. This is ridiculous. Hey, a class in West by God, Virginia is on the list in that area at a minimum. So
Get the flamethrower.
Oh, not me. Okay.
that's exactly right, QRF.
That's how you keep the smoke out of your face.
All right, let's see. What else were we going to talk about? Okay. Handling business. Fulfillment times are super quick right now. So not only do you have the 18% off promo code because we've saved 18 lives to date, Promo code is 18 Lima India Victor Echo Sierra 18 lives for 18% off today through sundown tomorrow. But fulfillment times are super fast on in-stock items right now.
Like a day.
Like one day. Like you order it today, we'll ship it tomorrow. So be aware of that. The crew wanted me to pass that along. Let's see, what else? Gray and navy cub kits are back in stock. So if you wanted a gray,
You may never get them again.
yeah, that and
That's
you may
through
never
September.
get them again.
I ordered those in September.
We ordered them in September and they just arrived. So if you wanted a gray or a navy blue Cub Kit or Cub Pro, those are in stock. Get them while you can. They may disappear forever. Soft T tourniquets are in the store. So if you wanted to get a soft T tourniquet, they're in the store. You can get those in addition to the cat tourniquets, which we offer. I like the cat tourniquet to use on myself. I like the soft T to use on other people. If you are big boned, large of stature, the soft T has about a foot more length of webbing on it. So it'll go around a much bigger extremity than the cat will. So that's something to consider as well. And so soft T tourniquets are in the store. Yes, sir.
Or if you have like a leg that is pinned.
And an impinged leg. Yep. And so soft tees are in the store. They are carried predominantly, well, by lots of people. But I like them to use on other people. If I got to use a tourniquet on me, individual first aid kit tourniquet, I'm going to use a cat tourniquet. If I'm going to use a tourniquet on somebody else, the cat is a great tourniquet as well, but the soft T also excels in that role. So soft T tourniquets are in the store. Pastor Joe Fox's book is in the store. For everybody who tried to buy a book last time,
Got refunded.
yes.
So was in a mood.
Survivalist Family, Prepared Americans for a Strong America by Joe Fox is in the store. So you can check that out. It's a great book. I have it. And I had it before I knew who Pastor Joe was. This cigar is ridiculous. I feel like a clown. I feel like,
You look like a.
you know,
like big glasses.
for sure. Yeah, I need one of those giant. Okay.
Giant glasses and a tiny little top hat.
Tiny little top hat.
Those who wanted to know about the Bear coffee, it's in the store. This is the Bear blend. You can get it in whole bean or in ground coffee. It's in the store. It comes with a Bear mug. If you're a patron and you're waiting on a Bear mug, good news, we're getting new Bear mugs. And you're not. You're all caught up. So check your mailbox. Caught up on everything. Awesome. Sarn Storms, that's right. The Bear blend right here. And this is from our friends at disastercoffee.com. You can find that in the store. What else?
And that's your personal drinking blend.
Yeah, that's what I drink. It's my blend. It's not like some cute.
Pour them together.
I actually rejected a lot of different coffee blends before we ended up with this. So, hey, babe, how are you doing?
Don't put that thing in my face.
I don't think it's lit anymore.
Hey, Bear, what coffee do you drink?
I drink disastercoffee.com. Yeah, and that's it. So let's do some Q&A now. Picking that up.
What advice do you have
Right.
for
Thank you.
raising twins and working 80 plus hours and a daughter-in-law and working 80 plus hours a week? You're gonna have to schedule time for the family because at 80 hours a week, it's really hard to do nothing but work.
My question becomes, why are you working 80 hours a week? What does your debt load look like? Are you trying to get out of debt? Are you saving money so you can make moves right now? Because that would be a good thing. If you're working 80 hours a week to spin the hamster wheel, that's a bad thing. If you're working 80 hours a week because your job pays $10 an hour and that's what it takes, that's a bad thing. You need a different job. And so, believe me, I've worked that many hours and more to get the job done. But where is that revenue going to, and what does that revenue actually represent? Like, how much are you bringing home at 80 hours a week is what I would want to know.
You're making $10 an hour. what's the plan to eventually not make $10 an hour?
Right.
Like
Because
it's 80
there's
hours a
gotta be-
week. You can't sustain that. You can do that for
Yeah.
a couple of months, but you can't sustain
You're gonna
that.
burn
You gotta find a
out
way
and
to
crash.
get out of that.
Plus, there's
Whether
no way
it's
to raise
training
babies.
or
No,
Yeah,
yeah, at
newborns.
80 hours a week, you're not a functioning member of your family, which is why you will have to have dedicated family time, because otherwise your wife is going to get pissed at you, especially if she's
Right.
doing the twins and the daughter
Yeah, and that's the
by
thing.
herself.
Yeah,
Like,
80 hours a week is just not sustainable.
mm-mm.
But we've all done it.
We've all
I'm not
done
saying
it.
You don't have to do it for a very
Right.
short period of time.
But when I did it, I ended up getting so burnt out and I crashed so hard, I ended up getting fired.
Yep.
Because I literally couldn't keep my eyes open at work because I was so exhausted. And so make sure.
I'm the only one working, and she is 5 months pregnant, and we were trying to get out of California. Okay, roger that.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I very much so think, depending on, well, yeah, never mind. I was going to say, depending on where you are in California, this changes. But regardless, I think you should get out of California. But I think you have more pressing matters with a 5-month pregnant wife with 2 twins on the way. And so you eat an elephant one bite at a time. There's only so much time in the day. There's only so much money. There's only literally half your week is spent working. Like there's 168 hours in a week. You're working 80 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
And you got to sleep.
Right. And so what I would think is, what can we press pause on right now? You're taking a strategic pause so that you can pay the appropriate amount of attention to the fact that your wife is 5 months pregnant with twins. And so if you're trying to launch from California and amass enough money to deal with, you got not 1, but 2 babies coming and all the baby stuff that comes with it, and she's not working because she's pregnant, all of that, unsustainable. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. So if you're trying to, and you're going to leave California with 2 brand new babies, that's even more of a recipe for disaster. And frankly, my wife said earlier, your wife's going to get pissed at you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And be prepared for that test of relationship. Like,
that's what I was going to say. You may work. In my mind, I get it, because you're the man. You're working 80 hours a week to provide for your family, and your wife's thinking, "What family? You're not even here."
Yeah.
And so, I would make sure I would have an honest conversation with your wife, a painfully honest conversation with your wife, and say, "Hey, where are we? What's going on? Where do we need to be at?" And take a real honest look at your goals and your revenue, because you can't. What's that Ron Swanson quote? It's better to whole ass one thing than to half ass 2 things.
mm-hmm.
Put your whole ass into the fact that you've got 2 girls coming, twins coming. Deal with that first and count it a blessing, because you don't need to be working 80 hours a week resenting the fact that you have to, because you got 2 blessings on the way. And your wife doesn't need to be resenting the fact that you're gone because you're busting your ass because you've got 2 blessings on the way. That's my take on that. Yeah, you should get out of California, but it's y'all's timing, not yours. And there's only so many resources. I want to build a barn, build a commo shack over here, take all these trees out, put a greenhouse up over there, and build a barn over there and a wood shop right here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do all that. I don't have the money for that. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the materials for that. I don't have the bandwidth to do all those things at the same time. I can do one of them. Hell, I haven't finished my outhouse yet. You know why? Because have you seen the price of lumber? But so this isn't even done. And I'm going to build a wood shop over here, and we're going to build a barn over there, and we're going to put a commo shack over there. And oh, where's the greenhouse? This isn't done. I just read in 2 Samuel today, chapter 21. There's a famine for 3 years under King David. For 3 years, no food. And David beseeches the father. He's like, "What are you doing? I need food for my people. There's no food." And you know what Yah says to him? He says, hey, before you were king, Saul was king, Shaul was king. And Israel had made a peace agreement with the Amorites. And Shaul, Saul, is over here killing the Amorites. You need to go get with the Amorites. Go fix that relationship. And David's thinking to himself, what the hell does that have to do with the famine in the land? And the answer is unfinished business. Don't come to God with all your big questions when you've got unfinished business, when you haven't done what you need to be doing on your end. Fix it first. And so what did David do? He went, got with the Amorites, and he honored his word. There's a Torah for that. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. He restored that relationship. There was a price to pay in blood. And then what happened? Famine is lifted from the land. Yah heard his prayers. So literally the moral of that story is handle your shit first, and then Yah will hear your prayers. So you have more pressing matters than getting out of California right now. The pressing matters is you got kids coming. And that should be a blessing, not a curse. Where is Meeker, Oklahoma? Timothy Smith? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Let's see.
Meeker.
Right before Oklahoma City,
Yeah, right outside Oklahoma City.
2.5.
When we drove to Oklahoma City, I remember seeing that name on it.
Probably a little far out, but I do appreciate the offer. But if you want to discuss in detail, you can shoot us an email, admin@Bear Independent. Oh, man, the Revolting Man is here? Hey, the Revolting Man is here. So, what other questions have we got? Could you play baseball with that cigar?
You could
I
play
could.
baseball with that cigar.
North of Shawnee, ever heard of the channel Nelson Waters? Nope. Did it in a van from New Jersey. There you go. Well, that's the other thing, too. What does leaving California look like?
Right.
How bad
What's
do you
the
want to
plan,
leave
man?
California?
Are you willing to live in a tent? Or do you want equivalent house someplace else?
I'm not looking in my living arrangement for someone with twins. My twins.
Well, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying there's something in between.
Just how bad do you want to do it? We plan to go back here.
Is this cigar any good, or is it just that massive? Or is it just massive?
It's actually really good. It's just freaking huge. I could cut it in half with an axe and it would still be freaking huge.
Wait till they're working.
He's a good, intelligent end times prophecy dude. Copy that. So excited about the Pacific Northwest class. I'm going to be chatting up my homeschool mama friends who have been joining me for handgun training. Awesome. Julia Brown, would you please email Phelps Sales at Refuge Training, and we'll get together on that. Please do that, Julia. That would be awesome. Jay Morris, what's up, brother?
No freeze dryer updates. We've been gone, so it hasn't been running. And I forget what I did
Cheese.
the last batch. No, it was that salsa.
Life
Yeah.
19.
Salsa and the venison,
That was
ground
saved at Socoke.
venison.
Look,
and-
Michael Ashley Condon. Sorry I'm saying this again. I just want TJ to know about Life 19 that was saved at Socoke. Okay, Michael, give me the details, brother.
Yeah, we missed that. So tell us again, or email us.
Scott, we know all about freeze drying Skittles. I had a plan to get out for about 2 years, saved money, and just finally left. Yeah, it took us 3 years to launch from North Texas. Store link,
Yeah.
please. New here.
Well, and Showbearer of Fate, his wife, just found, I guess, Target was having a sale on 3-pound bags of Skittles. And so she asked me if I wanted any, and I was like, sure, get me 1 or 2. And she got me a lot. So we'll have freeze-dried Skittles for days.
Neil Weller, welcome.
Oh,
Thank
I gotta
you.
find those caramel.
What's up,
Caramel apple
Tavar?
pops. I know. Those
I dried out my freeze dryer and now ready to wet dry. What? Well, Doug Buke, if you freeze dry your freeze dryer, you need to put it in a swimming pool so it'll reconstitute.
right. and hopefully not fall apart on you.
Right. Don't fall apart. Don't fall apart on me. What other questions do we have, Bear Nation? I've been yapping for an hour here about everything that's going on with us. Not even everything. We got a bunch of sheep to butcher.
Yeah, we got to go out and spray paint.
Aaron Nichols, I know it's too much. You need to blame Medic Mouse for this. Look at the size of this. All the time, you guys.
Put it next to my head. Like, how big is it?
All the time, you guys are like, Bear's hand is so big. I got the bear fac and look at it.
No, well, that's true because at Tallahassee, a dude came up to the table and he grabbed a minimum and he was like, "Oh, this is the fac. What's this kit?" And I was like, "No, that's the fac. This is the minimum." And he was like, "Golly, that thing's huge." And so, yeah, like,
right.
They should see a pack too.
Yeah, it's very deceiving.
So
how big his hands are.
Here's a Baofeng with the extended battery and the standard antenna, and there's the cigar. So if that gives you an idea of how big it is, it's at least a foot long. It's massive, but it does taste really good.
Right.
How's the recovery going? Bugs, thank you for asking. Not great. It's probably going to need more surgery. Not looking forward to it, but not dwelling on it. But I appreciate that. I'm in this strange place right now where I'm like starting to legitimately recover from the first surgery, but very likely going to need a second. But I do get to let J.A. Dudley beat me up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., so that's going to be a good time. Got my kettlebell, doing kettlebell swings. And then, when we were in Tallahassee, I was doing some treadmill, and they have a cable machine. So I did chest and arms on the cable machine, and I'm getting to the point where I can do some stuff again. But the most obnoxious thing is, it's like my batteries just don't hold a charge as long as they used to from a month of sitting on my ass. So, any suggestions on a girlfriend that has not been raised religious? I haven't brought up the issue yet, but I know I can't go forward and have kids with someone who doesn't believe in God.
10 months.
10 months, by the way. Be the example. What do you think? You're a woman.
I'd say be the example. Talk about it. Like, does she have questions? Like, is she even seeking God? Because a lot of people seek, but they have had false information. There's hypocrisy that they don't agree with. So talk about it. And if it's something that interests her, she just hasn't found her way, that to me at least rebukes, that could be a different story. And it kind of boils down to, like, is she worth to you putting forth that effort if she never changes her mind?
Well, and I would say it's good on you to have that concern before you get married, because once you do get married, it is a requirement of you to lead that woman in righteousness. It's not a nice to have, it's a need to have. You will be judged at the end of an age on how well you did that.
Well, and I wouldn't be getting married after 10 months.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I mean,
No.
there's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference in knowing that somebody is the one, and there is a difference in getting married because it's the next right step. So I would seek answers in that. Where's that relationship at? Is it something that you've both known from the beginning that you guys are the one for each other, or are you just kind of stagnant and you're like, a lot of people do that. They get stagnant in their relationship and they're like, oh, we need to kick this up. Like, we need to go to the next
Let's
level.
get married.
Let's get married. And that's not the way to do a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of people have said, and divorce is costly. Good point, Jane Morris. A lot of people said, do not be unequally yoked to an unbeliever. I would ask you, what social contracts do you have in place with this woman, your girlfriend, right now? What agreements have you made already as to how you're going to live your life? Because it's one thing if she doesn't know God. It's another thing if you've never brought it up. You've not created that expectation.
Right.
Like you need to redefine what that looks like. And if you're going to be her husband, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
That is 100% on you.
Because a lot of people just choose to avoid those big conversations because they don't want to ruffle feathers. They don't want to piss anybody. Like,
I've talked about this
but if you're
before.
doing life with somebody, you need to get comfortable pissing them off.
having those difficult conversations.
It's gonna happen. And
You should always see the angry and bad.
Well, that's
You need
another
to
point
know
too.
how people-
yeah.
You gotta know both spectrums.
Have you ever seen? Have y'all seen each other furious?
Right.
What does that look like, and how did it end? How did that
How
work
do you
out?
handle it? Yeah.
But I've said this before. When I came to the fullness of understanding of Yeshua is Hamashiach, Jesus is the Christ, and we keep the commands, I told my wife, I love you with everything that I've got, and I love Yah. Please don't make me choose. Please don't make me choose. Because this relationship is not going to survive if I have to choose between you and Yah. And I'm not going to make you do these things, but I'm going to lead you in these things. And I couldn't even explain what I was doing.
Right.
When we were first, I had the conviction, but I didn't have the knowledge. And I think that's really indicative of the Holy Spirit, because I'm a knowledge person much more than I'm an emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not how the Father worked with me through this. He went with the conviction and the emotion first, and then because of that conviction, I had to do my due diligence to go in and backfill all of the knowledge to understand why I had the convictions that I had. So I see you flipping through the commentos, man.
I'm looking for Michael's reply. He said that you.
I did not see it.
Yeah. We have not seen it, Michael. I'm going way, way back, and I don't see nothing.
Cheech and Chong are taking notes. I just saw that, Storms. Thanks.
But yeah. Email us at admin@Bear Independent. Like that's
Yeah.
a surefire way that we see it, and it doesn't just get lost in the
Yep.
chat.
If you need a laugh, watch Canadian Prepper's recent video on bags. So happy I found this channel. Way better info. I missed it. Where in PNW are you heading? Nicholas Adams, not determined yet, but if you would like to be involved in the classes in PNW, email Sales of Refuge Training, and we will conglomerate. We will match make. We will make it happen. And I imagine we will be doing some 4-hour Stop the Bleeds up there, and 8-hour civilian. So that's, TACMED. Half of that is on the range, and half of that's in the classroom with hands-on application of tourniquets, wound packing, chest seals, blah, 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 blah. And then we may also do CPR and AED, what's called BLS, ALS, basic life support, advanced life support as well.
Sarah, we don't know yet. We got to plan that in the next 2 weeks.
That's your girl,
We're
Sarah.
planning. So
Sarah?
it will be posted soon, but it will be
Salone,
before the end of the
Texas,
year.
too,
I can tell you that.
for sure.
But we'll have exact dates soon.
My buddy bought 100 cases of MREs. I hope he bought 100 boxes of laxatives too. Oh my gosh. I made it while you're still alive. I've missed y'all. What's up, AKA Alice? Is Bass Pro trip planned while in Springfield? I don't know.
They have the huge, like,
Bigger than the pyramid?
I don't know if it's bigger than the pyramid, but it's a ginormous
Really?
bass pro.
He won't poop till he dies. That is correct. He will probably die because he has not pooped. Oh, man. Need any ALS or BLS instructors? JC Collins. We have 3, but maybe at some point. What's up, Mark Chase? Just do the P&W before I move out. Well, Mark Chase, email us, sales at Refuge Training. You're one of the people I want to talk to anyway. And this is another thing. If you're part of these Viking groups or these mags that are out there, we will come train you. And we are happy to work with you as well. So reach out. Please reach out. It helps us backfill our calendar for the rest of the year so that I can pay the people that I love, so that y'all can learn life-saving skills. We are at 18 lives saved, maybe 19 lives. We're waiting on an email from this gentleman here. It's real. Like, this is real world training. And everybody who's taken the class has said, yeah, I didn't know that. I learned something today. I mean, I'm talking guys that have been special forces guys have taken the class and been like, wow, I learned something new. Cool. That's awesome. You know, Carl from Tactical Rifleman is like, yeah, I can't wait to take a class with you guys. We need to get our schedules together. Awesome. Carl was a, special forces medic. That was his job. He's like, yeah, I want to come to training with you guys. Sweet. So there's this fine line you have to walk between being proud of your accomplishments in business and staying humble and giving the honor to y'all. It's tough. Like, it's tough. But we have everything that we have because of the blessings of the Father. But it's like Paul says, if I'm a boast, let me boast in the things that I've done on behalf of the kingdom, right? And so our mission statement is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. So 18 lives, man.
Kevin, yes, we have a Missouri class in Springfield in July.
July 18th.
We are coming to Missouri.
Which we need folks to sign up for. Which we need
folks to sign for because only 5 have signed up so far. And
so please come see us in Missouri.
More than 5 to come to Springfield.
Don't make me beg, man.
Buy your spot.
It's
Buy
ugly.
it now.
It's ugly. Thank you, Kevin F.
And if JC Collins wants to send their qualifications to sales at Refuge Training also, we would have them on hand if we needed another instructor down the road.
Thank you, Kevin F.
JC's cool.
JC.
Yeah, we like her.
The date for Missouri is the 18th of July. Bear Independent just bought a Bear Fact. Finally saved. I saved over $40, so I got some patches and burn tech dressings to add. Are those heat stable as well? Yes, they are. Awesome. Thank you, Work in Progress. Again, promo code tonight is 18 lives. 18 Lima, India, Victor, Echo, Sierra. 18 lives, and that'll get you 18% off the kit. So, and I've only got like 20% headroom. So, yeah, bless y'all.
We're in Springfield, are we?
Okay, it's Springfield.
Is it a Holiday Inn?
It's Springfield. Guys, Springfield isn't Houston or Dallas.
It's at a Holiday Inn.
It's Springfield.
The address is on the website.
It's not New York City.
In the description.
It's not LA.
When you go
it's Springfield.
You'll see the address right there.
Wow, Missouri has dates. Somebody wanted to know if the
Yes,
MG42.
Go to the website. The address is on the website.
The MG42 is a good concealed carry option for sure, especially if you have tracks, if your skin is made out of hardened steel. Are you enjoying a Romulan ale?
No.
What are you drinking?
Blue. This is my take on a blueberry lemon drop. So it's lemon vodka, triple sec, blueberry liqueur, some simple syrup, and because I'm out of lemon juice, I'm using lime juice.
You didn't put a drop of
and a
essential
little
oils in there?
swish of.
Oh, you just blew her mind.
I have to go get my
Bless you,
lemon oil
Texas tea. Bless you, Texas T. I'm glad for the 18 Life discount code. Just
North
thinking of getting some
Springfield.
gifts and maybe something else for me.
So-
Bless you, brother. Jimmy Carr, we missed you too.
Do you want to show them what's back?
Oh, sure. Why don't you?
'Cause
You're
we've had a lot of requests.
you're
for
good at this.
People have been dying. So many people bought them without the
Yeah.
bag.
Y'all have been dying for this kit. Of all the kits we get contacted about, you guys have been blowing us up. Although we did choose a black bag
I know.
going into
Horrible
sundown,
lighting. Yeah.
but
So,
where's
guys,
my Olight?
this is. Oh, there we go. So this is
Where's my Olight?
right there.
Your
I don't need to be blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light. Well, I'm like,
It's not in your eyes.
Red
the
Rover
night.
Rooster crowing in the night.
I don't think those are the
That's what
words.
it is? Red rooster crowing in the night.
No.
That's what it is now, fo. Holy cow!
Right?
These things are.
I know y'all are blinding me. Okay,
This is a professional production, babe.
We're holding Olay.
So-
Your head.
we've had a ton of requests for adventure kits because Condor, as anyone that has emailed us about when adventure kits would be back, Condor has been horrendous about fulfillment of their product. So, like Renee said, we just got in gray and navy Cup Pro kits that we ordered back in September. So, what, 8 months? 8 months, not bad. Not a bad lead time at all.
And the lead time on one thing, it says 11 to 14 months right now.
Right,
So.
yeah. So, to try and appease everyone that is requesting to purchase an adventure kit, we were able to acquire some of the bag that we would use normally for the combat lifesaver. This is that bag. It is still a shoulder bag. I can't get this out of Molly.
It's all Molly.
Yeah, it's all mollied in. But it has a little strap for you to carry it on your shoulder. It has the molly on the back.
Well, hold on. M said the Homestead Emergency Bear Kit in the works. This
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 is-
is like,
Yeah.
ooh,
the whole concept behind the adventure kit is literally from boo-boos to bullet holes to broken bones.
Right.
That's what it does. So
can y'all see all that awesomeness in there? No, that just waits.
yeah,
it
that's
out.
way too much. Actually, I think this one's working with
Yeah.
the splash from the roof.
There we go.
Yeah, that
there we
works.
go. Okay,
Good
perfect.
job.
So yeah, so in here you have all your little grab bags,
Which we would call modules,
your modules,
but
yes.
your grabby bags. So
So
this is an advanced surgical kit. It's got a surgical drape. It's got all of your tools are in here, your hemostats, your scalpels, your sutures, your rolled gauze, your flat gauze, disinfectants, scalpel blades, and there's like, gosh, this cigar is huge. But it has in here,
all the things.
it has all the things. But I just want to show the people, like, you've got bandage scissors, curved hemostats, all that stuff is inside of here, and so it's for performing minor surgery and closing wounds.
Mm-hmm. Super wipes packet. It's got your antiseptic, your alcohol, your burn gel, your triple antibiotic, and how many of these we have? It's 10 of each.
Sting relief.
Yeah, 10 of each of those. Your Sam splint.
Sup, James McAdams, Sam splint, which can also be turned into a cervical collar. So you can see here for immobilizing arms and legs. You can use it as a C-spine collar. And also you can add a C-spine collar to this at the store as an additional item under components.
Right. We've got because NAR has been having supply chain issues.
North American Rescue.
Right. We have switched over to the tack bed
Olays.
Olays.
These are really good
These
bandages.
are awesome.
Really
Yeah.
good bandages. So
We're
it's
gonna
not
keep
like
using these.
it's not like we, had to find a subpar replacement. These cost us more, and they're a better product, believe it or not, than the NAR bandage.
They have a built-in. They call it a pressure bar, but it's basically like a plastic thing that goes across the end of the ETD with a little plastic cup to it, and basically you put that over your wound, and it applies direct pressure to that wound as you're wrapping. It's a little divot in there that's pushing down with every wrap that you do. So yeah, we've got the TacMed Olays
Olay, like that.
modular bandage, your gauze packs, which is 4x4s, 3x3s, 2x2s, all of those, multiples of each. I think a 10 again. We like to do things in 5s and 10s. And your Band-Aid bag, because the adventure kit covers everything from boo-boos to,
and this is to bullet holes to broken bones.
Right.
It also has every single component that's in a bear fac in this bag. So you can work the entirety of the March algorithm: massive bleeding, airway, respiratory, circulation, head injuries, hypothermia. It has everything that's in a bear fac is also in the adventure kit.
right.
So
this is another change. We were ordering a kind of pre-made trauma kit that had a small quick clot roll, or Z-fold, I guess it was.
Yep.
Bandage in it, and gloves, and
it was a commercial
gauze
Z-fold
and
package.
some duct tape. Yeah, it had like a little bitty roll. So we decided to make our own. So we're including a quick clot rolled gauze.
So there's now a standardized upgrade across the board in the bear facs, the adventure kits, now using quick clot, rolled gauze.
Anything that comes with quick clot.
In all the kits. So rather than the commercially available, the commercial quick clot, this is what EMS and first responders are using. Not that the commercial stuff is bad, but there's more quick clot in this. This is also something that costs us more money, but it's a better product. So we went ahead and made this upgrade.
Yeah, it's got the linen triangle bandage, the survival blanket, PZK wipes, the 2-inch black duct tape, the black
and
responder gloves.
A good triangle bandage. So
abdominal pads, and then we have more abdominal pads.
Yeah, 5x9s.
Your cat, shears,
Yep.
and hyphens.
This is the kit that Wrangler Star was like, this is like the best first aid kit. Like, you need to have one of these in your car. You need to have one of these on your four-wheeler. You need to have one of these on your homestead. And we've been scrambling to find pouches to put them in. And
He talked about it, and we were like, but you can just buy the stuff that goes in it. You can't
Right.
actually buy the
Right. Yeah, we were selling just the guts, and you had to buy your own bag. But I was able to find a whole bunch of these. Oh wait, there's more.
oh wait, but wait, there's more. There's a whole hell of a lot more in there. Keep going.
Yeah, there's a whole pouch. So we have all the steri strips.
Hold up, those are butterfly bandages.
Yeah,
for
your
wound
1/4
closure.
and 1/2-inch steri strips. We have your Benadryl and Imodium, generic Imodium.
Yep,
You need it, you need it.
for stings and
Right.
the poops.
We have more gloves, splinter out,
Yep, splinter remover.
Put it upside down.
and OTC meds, your Advil, Tylenol, asprin,
And a bunch of them.
a
Not
bunch
a
of
couple,
yeah.
a
Like
bunch
I said,
of
we
them.
do tens and 5s.
Yep.
So hydrocortisone cream, triple antibiotic cream, big old tubes, oral rehydration, more tape,
Surgical type. Man, there's a ton in this kit.
cohesive bandages.
I mean, really,
Just keep going.
And then your Sharpie and decompression needle.
for tension pneumothorax, for a closed tension pneumothorax, which if you don't know what that is, come
Now
to
that's
class.
it. Yeah. Now I gotta
And
put it all
so,
back.
and that kit's normally $400.
Yes, $3.99.
You can use the promo code tonight, 18 lives, 18 LIVES for 18% off. You're in the neighborhood of $330 and super fast fulfillment right now. And we're letting you know these will sell out.
Yeah.
These
And then I'm out of bat. Like, I don't know.
we're gonna have to get
I gotta figure something out.
our
'cause-
tailors to make these bags, and when we do, we're probably gonna have to increase the price a little bit, but they will be made in America bags.
The ones we ordered in September might come in.
That's true. The ones we ordered in September might come in as well.
Yeah, they just
So that's the adventure kit, and we don't often show it on camera because it takes 5 minutes to go through it,
right.
but it's a badass kit.
It's an awesome, like,
It's a very comprehensive kit.
introductory, full,
I mean,
comprehensive kit. Yeah.
You'll stay tuned at the channel because at some point I'll be reviewing this. And let me just say, I'm going to put this thing here head to head against the Bearfac. This costs $11 more than a Bearfac. And earmuffs, kids, it's a piece of shit. Okay? This is the My Medic Advanced First Aid Kit. Now, I'm biased. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm biased, but our kits are way better than these. Way better than these. So, and the adventure kit has got, it's literally everything from
That's so
boo-boos to bullet holes to broken bones. So, and I think we only have, 20 of those bags in stock. So
Something like that. It's not a lot.
it's not a lot. So if you want an adventure kit, go ahead. And
Yeah, I think we've got black and coyote bags.
I think OD.
Bo,
We have OD,
do we have OD too?
OD,
Okay.
black,
And coyote.
coyote.
Okay. I'm totally not packing this back.
And
The way it
it's
should
set,
be.
the stock is set so when it sells out, it will say sold out.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
So get them where you can.
Right.
Get them while you can.
Not where I do.
Made in America with foreign components. Not our kits.
I mean, there's some stuff like,
gauze.
yeah, like there's some stuff you just can't avoid getting it from overseas.
The Bearfac and the Bare Minimum are handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, exceed military specification by a shit ton, and have saved 18 lives. So you can talk as much shit as you want in the comments, but I will put it up against every other kit on the market happily. So there you go. Where is Badger? He knows all about my medic. Yes, he does. So, adventure kit, get them while they're hot. We appreciate y'all. Use the promo code. Exactly why I want 3rd, 5th with 2nd Infantry. Exactly why I want a Bearfac. They are on 4 branches with, on 4 continents with 4 branches of the armed forces. Literally from up in the sky to below the sea currently. They're awesome.
Right.
So, and again, it's have to walk that line between they're awesome and humility, but they're awesome. I would put them up against every other kit on the market. So that's only because Space Force doesn't operate on humans. Yeah, y'all Space Force nerds aren't human. So what else we got? Mil-spec is foreign crap. All right, roger that, Peter Jones. Agreed. What else we got? His cigar is huge. 5 branches. Coast Guard has them too. I didn't know the Coasties were running them. Okay, we're up to 5 branches. QRF, thank you, brother. The Bearfac is better than the kit in my squad car. Roger that, Alex. That's why we also, if you have a department or agency, provide training and equipment to departments and agencies so that you, like the 18th life that was saved, this guy had a Bearfac in his vehicle. Now, it was privately purchased, but we also provide equipment to departments and agencies. So it's as big as your face. Yes, it is. Look at this thing.
Including
Still,
your beard.
It's still
Almost.
as big as my face.
That's a pretty, like, that's,
We also
It's a cubit.
we also provide training to agencies, and we have badass grant writer to help.
That's correct. We also provide training to agencies. All of our training is nationally post-accredited, CLEAT certified, CLEF certified, counts as training hours, continuing education hours for public safety. And if you have a training budget and equipment budget, awesome, we got you. If we don't, we have a badass grant writer on staff. And our grant writer, we take 0% of the grant money. A lot of other grant writers take up to 30% of the grant. So if you get somebody who writes you a grant for $100,000, you're only getting $70,000. And the way the grant writer makes money is by taking that 30%, that $30,000. We don't do that. Your department gets $100,000. You get the full value of whatever the grant is. Use it as a bayonet. There you go. Forge. I just say forge.
Forge and Woodcraft. Email us, because the hang up. So if you guys don't provide us with an email address whenever you make your order, our store just kind of like sends you a generic confirmation, but there's not really any pertinent purchase details. It's not like a PDF that you can save. However, if you do provide your email address, generally the HSA, FSA companies just want a PDF copy of your receipt, and providing your email will get you that. And if you need another copy, just email us and we can send it to you, no problem. Because sometimes people mistype their emails too, and
that happens.
So
thank you, Dom Nudo. Also, yeah, all the kits are FSA, HSA approved. Everything from the Cub kit to the stomp bag, they're all FSA. Which, do we have any stomps in stock? They're tough to get right now. I guess the only way Nidavalier, Roger, that Nidavalier copy.
We're working on a to get those back.
Condor sucks.
Well, the product is good. The availability is terrible.
Sucks.
We're working both with American-made companies and high-quality overseas manufacturer companies to see if we can come up with a solution for these bags that we can't get from Condor currently. Bless you, Jay Morris.
That one Condor bag would probably hold one saline bag. There might be enough room to stick one of those in there, but not two.
So I guess the only way you can currently get a stomp bag is to be a $5 and up patron,
or the loot box,
to be on the live stream 1 week from tonight and have your name drawn. So, yeah, Juice Hefe knows what's up. Hoping to win me a stomp bag. Exactly. What else we got, y'all? Q&A. Akanaste, awesome.
Have they shipped it yet? Because like a lot of Condor third-party retailers,
you can buy it.
say
Bless
in
you,
stock.
Brandon.
We tried that.
But I have literally been on the phone with people
can you see it?
Do you have this? Oh yeah, we have it. No, do you have it where you're going to ship it to me tomorrow? Well, no, I mean, it's supposed to be in the, no, that's not in stock. I'm sorry. And, because
it's in his vehicle.
We just got stuff we had on order since September.
Nice medic mouse. It's like trying to cash in silver notes, right? Suture kit or stapler kit for wounds? Depends. Stapler is not a bad idea, and it certainly has its applications, but it cannot be used in all applications.
Staples suck to remove.
And staples suck to remove. Where's a good store for saline? Where did we get ours from?
Atlantic Medical.
Yeah, Atlantic Medical Supply.
If you put in Atlantic IV Medical Supply, it'll come up.
Right. Austere class in the works, brother. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. When we getting bear camp at Wind Turbine? Jay Morris, we got to chat about that probably next week. Find a time in my schedule between surgeries and everything else to come up there and get it. Money set aside for that. Awesome. Stapler is brutal. Had to staple my daughter's boyfriend's head. Oh, heads
Why?
bleed like stuck
They
pigs.
do.
Oh
I got
my
split
gosh.
between my eyebrows
Yep.
in a rollover one time, and like my whole face, all the way down, was just blood.
And Harlan ran into a wall one time when he was
Yeah,
younger. That
our
was
son,
like
he
crazy.
fell backwards and nicked the back of his head, and bled like
What's
a
up,
stuck
Logan
pig.
Matthias?
I will say, unless you've done a lot of suture practice, staplers are way better for head wounds.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
head wounds. And yeah, so typically with a head wound, we're going to hold it together and elevate to a higher level of care. Yesterday I went to church. The first time I've also started reading the Bible, thanks to your channel. No, thanks to the Father. Keep up the good work, you two. Bless you, the cook. That's awesome. Can't suture one-handed too good, though. That's true.
I'm very ambidextrous, though. I could probably suture with left-handed.
We also, one of the upsides of having people.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids have done suture practice
Yeah, I get
kits.
bored and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Then mess with it.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, with dog food storage, it's your high protein count that's gonna cause. I mean,
sold out.
bugs happen.
What's on
OD Adventures are sold out.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's like
No more OD, y'all.
6 or 7 coyotes left.
There's 6 or 7 coyotes left. Get them while they're hot.
But
And some black.
with dog foods, it's the high protein, the high fat content that's going to make those go rancid. And
Yep.
it's not necessarily that bugs get into them, it's that they literally go rancid and rot.
And then bugs will get in.
And then bugs get into it. Yeah.
Colby G, email your Torah questions to admin at Bear Independent and they will pass them on to me. But also, if it has a relation to a verse, if you have a question about a verse, please go back channel. We have 2 massive playlists of Old Testament and New Testament, which of the chapters I've read thus far, I've read every word of them and given my, albeit sometimes limited, learned opinion and conviction on what those chapters say and how they relate to the rest of the word, because I believe that the Bible interprets the Bible first and foremost before any man, myself included, interprets the Bible. So if it's a question on, well, yeah, Bear, but have you read Galatians? As a matter of fact, I have. I got a 3-part series on it. You should go watch it. So if it's in relation to a verse, please go back channel and look in the Old Testament or New Testament playlists and see if I've already addressed it. 32-foot windmill up here in Yale, Oklahoma. If you want to come dismantle it and take it back to your property and use it for pumping water. Well, Romans, I feel like we might need to get together anyway, but I'll think about that.
There's just a bunch of bugs.
No, I have not freeze dried like straight dog food yet. And I probably never will. My dog is pretty resourceful at feeding himself. So,
Coyotes.
Bless
yeah,
you, Bama.
I mean, there's a bunch that you can do to, like, you know, grains and barley and vegetables mixed in with meat to like stretch it. But I have no doubt that if we were without food, that he would be able to feed himself.
Thank you, Storms, for not reading the cyber post today, but commenting about wanting to comment on the cyber post today. Agreed, Sergeant Savage. Just be careful handling them. What else we got? I'll be at Paola. Looking forward to meeting everyone, said Faux Daddy. I will not be at Paola, but it's not because I don't love y'all. It's just because we just got back from Florida and just recovery ops, man. Florida was restful. A lot of people asked how was the vacation. It was restful for me, but it was also 4 days in the car. And it was also, and I did next to nothing in Florida, honestly, but I did learn that I'm still not in a position where I can be up and on my feet for 12 or 14 hours during the day. So, yeah. I have Justin Ridden. What's up, man? I have 10 baby lambs and things are looking up. That's awesome. How do you get baptized with no church? You do what we do. You take your assembly of believers, your friends, your family, your loved one down to the river. You strip down to your skivvies and you walk out into the water. And then you have a brother on each side holding the person, or a sister on each side holding the person. And you ask a series of questions. And usually there are many tear-filled eyes, and it's hard to get words out because you're all choked up. And you dunk that person in the water, and you say, I baptize you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. And then you bring them up out of the water again, and they are made new. Gene S., bless you. When food is plentiful, Fido can eat what the humans are eating. When food is scarce, humans might have to eat Fido. Yeah, we don't do that. Plus, like my wife said, our dogs kill things.
Vice versa might happen.
Yeah, vice versa. It's more like when food is scarce, my dog might eat you.
Yeah.
So, I ordered my freeze dryer after watching one of your videos. I appreciate the info and trust your opinion. Thanks, stacking food to the ceiling.
Thank you, Steven.
That was your fault.
What?
So, Steven, if your wife's not into it, you gotta blame my wife because I didn't do that. Away from the rapids, yes. Backyard prepping. This is a Via con Dios that was sent to me by Medic Mouse, and it's really delicious. It's just huge. It's the Super Grande, which is the understatement of the century. SHTF Sam will eat better than most people. Agreed. Yeah, M, away from the rapids. Don't baptize people in rapids. That's bad news. Bear Independent, thank you. I've started the series currently in Exodus. The question is one that somebody asked me, and I feel I'm not knowledgeable enough to answer yet. Copy that, Colby G, then send us an email. What ring gauge? I don't know. Here's my thumb. It's wider than my thumb, and I don't have little girly hands.
No,
So-
I would say you probably have like a 13. So that thing's probably, I think it's probably like a 20. Like, I don't even.
It's huge.
I don't know if people have fingers that fat.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Maybe like your big toe.
here's my wedding ring, and here's the cigar.
Right.
Ring gauge is not the size of the ring.
Yeah, but it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about two different things, but
Oh.
yeah,
I think of like
it's 66 by 11 inches. Okay, there you go.
Smaller numbers, bigger. That's a
Bless you, Texas T. The question was simply, what do you do if somebody needs to get baptized but you don't go to church? And I was explaining what we do.
or how do you get baptized without the church?
Correct. And even then, baptism is supposed to be, in biblically speaking, and this is not an issue of salvation, just to be clear. But it's supposed to be in living waters. And what that means, biblically speaking, is water that's running.
Mm-hmm.
This is a stream or a river.
Right. It's not stagnant.
Right.
It's
And
not-
think about John the Baptist baptizing in the Jordan River, right? It's a river. A flexible wedding ring. Yeah, it's made of silicone. That way, so I work with my hands, and that way, if this gets stuck on something, it doesn't peel all the skin off my finger. It breaks away.
Right.
So, and I got a package. I don't remember how many came in the package, but it was multiple because it's
Right. So if he loses it, I'll never know because he'll just have another.
they're different colors. So I would never know.
Oh,
You would know. Is that the John Holmes of cigars? Well, geez, Romans 18.
Renee just got a new ring.
Did she?
I did.
Yes.
Give it to me.
Wow.
She got
Sure.
a wedding.
For my 25th anniversary, I got a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
The right size finally came in.
It's pretty.
Tavar wanted
It's purple.
wanted a brief review of your bug zapper.
Oh, I like it. We need to move it so it's not like
Purple.
smoking dust guts, bug guts right over our heads. But thing lights them up. I gotta clean it
Sarn Storms.
because you can't
Where-
hardly even see the light.
Where'd
'cause
you
it's
get
so
it
covered.
from?
Amazon.
Okay. Do you
I think it
remember the
was
name?
like no. I mean, I might look at my purchases,
What's up? None of our beeswax.
but it was. I want to say it was like $30, maybe. And
It's done a great job.
Hang on.
Yes, Sarah. So again, it's not an issue of salvation. I'd say for sure. What do you ask the
Hemua.
person being baptized? What is it called?
Hemiua.
Hemiua. It's definitely Chinese.
Yeah.
Hemiua. Oh, so Texas T. What do you ask the person being baptized?
42.
Do you confess that Yeshua is the Mashiach, that Jesus is the Christ? Do you commit yourself to walk in his ways? And I mean, I can't, let's see, honestly, off the top of my head,
You were devoting your life to him at
Yeah.
that point.
is he your Lord and Master? Will you go where he tells you to go? Will you do what he tells you to do? Are you willing to be obedient to the calling that he puts on your heart? Are you willing to walk to the best of your ability in his ways? Is he your Lord and Master? Will you do what he tells you to do? And if it's any answer other than yes, it's a no go. But I'll
It's
tell
kind
you,
of like marriage vows for Yeshua.
that's exactly what it is.
You're
That's
devoting yourself to him.
and that's exactly right. Tommy Salter, what's up, brother? Has the water warmed up yet? I haven't been in the water here, not this season, but I don't, probably not quite yet. It was still pretty cool in Florida, so Texas T,
We got a
bless
pool
you.
now, though.
Yeah, we do have a pool.
A little 8 foot.
It's
Hey, it'll work for a baptism. Tommy can come on up.
that's true.
It would. I might need to put a little bit more water.
But yeah, Tommy, you are welcome to come up
Listen,
anytime,
Charles
brother.
probably bigger than that pool.
Anytime.
It's a baby pool, but it's a big
Loomph,
pool.
what's up, Loomph? Somebody was
Hello.
asking about you earlier. It was like,
Hello.
where's Loomph? Did she fall off the face of the earth?
Sarah. Mr. Bestie Sarah.
yeah, I think the pool's warm, but all of our other water flows. So
Aw. Luke
It-
had to use the boo-boo kit today.
yeah, she did. Her daughter busted her knee.
Oh, Gary's daughter is found.
Praise
Hallelujah.
Yah.
Yeah.
Praise Yah. Baruch Hashem Yahovah. Praise Yah. Amen. Awesome, Gary. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know, and this too, like, I don't have like a ritual that I go through when I baptize people. You look them in the eyes, you ask them, do they confess that Yeshua is Messiah? And you can tell. Like, you could tell. The Holy Spirit's there. And whatever words come after that, they're not mine. They're Yah's words. And then you dunk your brother. And then you pull him back up. And then there's more water in the river than what you started with.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
I heard somebody
Right.
just describe, like, why do you want to do this? Why are we doing
Yeah.
this? And what does it mean to you?
Well, when you
And
come
describe it.
up out of that is your like rebirth. That
That's
is
exactly
you
right.
becoming new again and being cleansed of all of those previous sins that you partook in. And so that's the whole point, is once you're cleansed of those, once you know what sin is, that you're not continuing to do it.
Amen. Tavar, warm soapy water, bro.
And probably like a bottle brush.
Bathtub.
Yeah,
soapy water.
bottle brush. straw brush.
I wonder
get
how
in
many
there
people here know
the
what a
spit out.
shofar is.
I'd be careful with what type of soap though, because like Dawn or something like that. Might
The ammonia
mess up the
can-
oil and the
might
oil.
eat through it. Yeah.
True.
I don't know, they
And
do
use
all
like,
that
Doing bubbles.
Nice, Anthony Jensen.
use
Nice.
like Johnson & Johnson, like a gentle soap.
Mark Chase, bless you, brother. Thank you. Shalom. I told Dudley the other day, maybe mid-July. Copy that. Bradley Dixon, what are you so sorry about? All right, the bugs with this light.
I know.
I'm going back to.
No, I was gonna say we have to do that every time. There's not a single bug over here.
We'll put it over there.
I know. It might still like.
You put that light over there.
Now they're all going there.
They are.
Yeah, you hear that? It just picked right up.
Pop, pop,
Like a
pop,
machine
pop,
gun.
pop. Give me the light. Oh.
Can you grab my shofar? Will you set that over
Ooh,
there?
that's hot.
Set it over there.
I had that on my hobby.
There you go. No, turn it all the way up.
Oh.
Point. There you go. Yep. That'll work.
Hi, baby.
Been falling trees with the tutelage of Buck and Billy Ray. I like Buck and Billy Ray. That's a good channel. I like what he's about. That's awesome, Isaac Barton. We are getting attacked by tiny green gnats. Yep. What is the popping noise? That's the bug zapper.
Getting all those tiny gnats.
That's the bug zapper.
How many cubic yards would you say we ended up with wood chips? Oh,
Couple thousand? No, that's an exaggeration. But
It was a lot.
300 to 400 cubes, probably.
I was talking with Scott about it. Told him that it's done, but we had a ton.
Yeah, literal tons and tons and
That
tons.
one pile was like 20 something feet tall, like at one point.
This
and
is
like 20 feet wide.
this is a shofar.
It's like 4th of July.
It's a ram's horn, and usually we blow it to usher in the Shabbat, the Sabbath. We blow it when we go to war. We blow it on feast days, and we blow it in celebration to Yah. See if I can do it right now.
Clean the pot and tray.
Oh, that was awesome.
Don't make me laugh while I'm trying to do this.
It goes good with
You
that
can't
happy.
do your lips right if you're laughing.
I know. It doesn't work.
You got a pucker.
No,
Really?
I know you love me, but no.
Hey, you gotta
I do this all the time, just not with an audience. Thank you so much.
And all of us going, don't mess
I
up.
know. Don't look at
You're on
me.
camera.
Don't look at me.
Abraham did it with over 1,000.
Now it's only $3.94 now.
Ooh.
They
I'm
laughed.
not Abraham, bro. So
Under pressure.
that's what it sounds like.
If anybody doesn't.
Shut up, Sergeant Storms. Nice, Otto. You might be a keeper.
Ah, good job, boy.
You might be a keeper, Otto.
Yeah.
The cows don't like it, which is fine. I think it reminds them who's the boss around here. So,
I think they have a genetic memory that when the show
What's up,
first starts,
Badger?
one of them's about to die.
yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah, it's in their mitochondrial DNA. We hear that sound, one of us dies. So, sheep stroganoff for supper. Amen.
Dogs at people's houses.
I know they're going on.
They're going crazy too. Like, oh, what's that?
When he started big boy.
You know, Milo says, wouldn't you shit if someone responded in kind? Milo, on Friday evening, this whole neighborhood's full of shofars.
Well, and even right now, there's a 50-50 chance someone just hears it, grabs their shoulder.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Are we going to war? Not right now, Dudley. Not right now. What's up, dope heathen? That's just the dog remembering that it's a wolf. There you go. My dog is barking at the shofar. Awesome. Yes, Akanaste, I did see that. That's awesome. Praise Yah. Nebraska prepper, it's all good, brother. We're all just trying to understand. At least I believe that we are all just trying to walk closer to the calling that the Father puts on our heart. And Mr. Medic Mouse, I love you, bro, but I got to put this thing in the bag and save it for later. It's so big that without like diligence, I can't even keep it lit. So, Fair Independent, any apologetics books you recommend? Chow from Brazil. No, if you're looking for Torah apologetics, Zach at New to Torah, New NEW, the number 2 Torah, TORAH, has hundreds of videos about Torah apologetics. And he's good at it. Apologetics isn't really my skill set. My skill set's more like knife hands and hammer fists, but he's really good at apologetics. And I would recommend you check out Zach. I enjoy watching his channel. Occasionally my wife and I will sit down and listen to what he's got to say. If it just, he's good at what he does. And so if you're looking for Torah apologetics, I would recommend Zachary Bauer, New to Torah, NEW, the number 2 TORAH. There's also mini teachings at Shofar Mountain, YouTube channel Shofar Mountain, which is Pastor Joe Fox. There's another group called Unlearn that has many good teachings. And 119 Ministries has many good teachings as well. Zach is good, but I need some knife hands to my face. Roger that, Bama Buckeye.
Unlearn My Eyes is good.
Yeah.
It's like topical and you're like, wait, but I thought, no.
Well, depending on where you are in your walk, a lot of people need that. Like,
Yeah,
they
when you're first
need
getting
that.
started, you're like, but what about, oh, no. But what about, no, like, that's where I love 119, the same thing. It's very topical.
Yeah.
It's not just
Bless you, Will.
teachings.
Yeah.
Where does one get a good shofar? I got mine from Bezos's yacht. Honestly, that's where I got it from. And I don't love shopping at Bezos's yacht, but it doesn't mean I don't do it. You got low battery over here, baby. I'll plug you up.
Thanks.
Badger repeated the question, but I think it's a good one. Nebraska Prepper wanted to know, is child baptism enough or should be done again as an adult?
That's a good question. So I'm going to tell you my opinion on child baptism versus adult baptism. I do not believe that baptizing a child makes any sense at all. I think it's more of a ritual for the parents
They're
than
doing
anything
it because
else.
Mommy and Daddy
It's-
want them to do it.
It's like think about
Or something
baptizing an
just
infant. It's a dedication. The parents are saying that I will raise this child up in the ways of God, which usually has a lot to do with the doctrines and dogmas of the denomination that they're in, not the ways of God. But it's for the parents, it's not for the child. And so when that child is of the age of responsibility, which in certain cultures is 13 years old, I'll tell you what, I love my soon-to-be 13-year-old, but he ain't responsible for shit. That being said, when you need a conversion of the heart, you have to be able, you can't, when you're baptized, you're giving yourself to Yah.
Right.
And a child, especially an infant, cannot give themselves knowingly, freely to Yah. And so I would say, is it enough? The fact that you're even asking the question means you have the conviction. Go ahead and rededicate your life via baptism to the Father. I've been baptized 3 times. Once as a child, once as a young adult, and then once as a full-grown man. And the one that mattered, honestly, was of my own volition, of my own free will, giving everything that I have to the Father by the blood of Yeshua as a full-grown man. That's what mattered to me. I don't even remember being baptized as an infant because it's just a bullshit ceremony. I don't I have a recollection of being baptized as a teenager at like 13, and I felt the Spirit for a moment, but I was not of the age of responsibility. I was not an adult.
I think as an adult, there's a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not that the teenage one didn't matter or didn't count, because you as a 13 or 14-year-old did give your life as much as you knew at that moment. It was I feel like it's a true conversion then, but your view of the world and life and everything is so tiny that do it again as an adult. Like, well, it's one of those, like, it's like a stone. It's a marker. It's a moment in time. It's
like renewing your vows.
Right.
Hey, we're here now, you know?
Well, also, it intrigues me that, I didn't know until now that he had been baptized as a teenager, or as an infant, but it intrigues me that I was baptized when I was 7. You were baptized when you were 13. And then we both went through a period of rebelling against Yah. And we both went through a lot of situations where he was still looking out for us.
Yep. Yeah.
Even though we were in direct opposition to him.
I would describe it as you're still under the umbrella, but your back is turned and you're like, I'm not listening. You know what I mean? You're still under the covering, but you are literally like, I'm going to.
Yeah, that's a good point, Phelps. I would say, if you're asking the question, get rebaptized. Not rebaptized, rededicated through baptism again. I mean, how many times do I have to, hypothetical question, how many times do I have to do a Nazirite vow? The answer, as many times as Yah tells me to. Be set apart, for I am set apart. 10:4. So if your soul has collected a bunch of things that need to be washed from it, it's time. Go get washed clean. So, yeah, that's the bug zapper, y'all. It's a full auto bug zapper.
Right. Gosh.
And they're still
everywhere. They're still everywhere.
We could start the bug zapper channel.
We could.
Just
Probably have
it's like
a million
ASMR
subs. Yeah,
noise.
exactly. Yeah. Have 1 million subs and just live stream the bug zapper.
Put it on slow-mo. So it's like. I'm getting fried.
Nice.
I would watch that.
Taborosaurus Rex. What's up, brother? Obeying Yah, the only important thing we will ever do. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Amen. Hold on. I read that in a book somewhere. Let me, there was this guy. He was, I think they called him the most powerful man in the world, and his name wasn't Jeff Bezos. He was a king something, Solomon. That's what it was. Get away from me, Junebug. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Elohim and guard his commands, for this applies to all mankind. For Elohim shall bring every work into right ruling, justice, including all that is hidden, whether good or whether evil. Fear Yah and keep the commands, for this applies to all mankind. I was nailed to the cross. Cool. Go read Colossians 2. Thomas says shalom. I know. I got to go hang out at Rex's alumni. I got to be a Rex alumni first, I guess. I'm not cool enough yet. I haven't made it out that way. But hey, Rex, for real, we're putting together our North American tour for the rest of the year for training classes. So if you want to team up on something or be in the same place at the same time, get at me, bro. Let's talk. Let's set it up, because within the next 30 days, we're posting our dates for the rest of the year. I'd love to partner up with you on something, or just hell be in the same damn state with you.
Right.
So
just come visit.
Mm-hmm. Just come visit. Yeah, what she said. Good soldiers follow orders. We're all soldiers of Yah, right? Florida Man Prepper, amen. Not only that, go read Isaiah 9. There's a prophecy of Yeshua in Isaiah 9. And I was talking about this. Again, I was reading. Honestly, check out the 2 Samuel video that's going to post tomorrow night. But the prophecy there is, he is the ruler of this kingdom. Kings have rules, right? The rule, or I wonder what the rules could be.
The law.
Oh, there you go. That's a good answer. You must have spalot bugs there, guys. We do have spalot bugs, Gene. That's correct. We do have a spalot of bugs. It's odd to me that when I read Rex's comments, I hear his voice. Yeah, Roger that. There's a bug on the camera. Get off of the damn camera, bug. Oh wait, we ain't signing off yet. Not yet. I mean, I think shortly. What do you think?
What?
You got a little bit more in you?
I can go a
A little bit more. Okay. Good night, corn fed. Is Rex in PNW? Negative. Okay,
He's
Bear
in,
Nation.
like, North Mid, which is an untapped region in and of itself. Like the whole North.
For us,
Yeah.
we haven't gone there yet.
The Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Michigan, Wisconsin. That's its own little area.
Baptizing babies be like, Michael Francis Rizzi, do you renounce Satan? Blam, blam. I do renounce him. Yep, there you go. Coach your dad, what's up, man? You speak on scriptures really well. It doesn't sound cheap. Faith, love, and hope from Tennessee. Tennessee Tactical +1. Thank you. I hope that it doesn't sound cheap. I was given a piece of advice by somebody. It was a paid consultant that I was talking to a year and a half ago, who was like, yeah, if you want to grow your channel, you're going to have to just not talk about faith. Or if you're going to talk about faith, you need to separate that out into a different channel so you can focus on preparedness. I was like, that's not possible, because my relationship with Yah should inform everything that I do. And I'm not the type of person that can keep that from bleeding over. It's really difficult for me because it's the primary facet of everything that we do. So it's really difficult for me to interact in a way that doesn't have some meaning to Yah, that doesn't point back to the Father, that isn't scripturally based, because that's what we do.
That's our life.
That's our life.
Right.
And so to try and compartmentalize the most important part of my life for the sake of being profitable on the internet, it's like, yeah, there's a Torah for that too. It talks about that in Proverbs, that, yeah, you're going to gain nothing, that the greed of that will gain you nothing. I love that you bridge our faith into our work. Exactly, bro. It's what is the mission statement? To save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. So I am prepping for Jesus' second coming. I am prepping and may be here for Jesus' second coming. We shall see. Hey, Bear, could you recommend a book and a scripture that covers the importance of church and fellowship? Importance of church. Well, Hebrews 10:25 says to forsake not the gathering together, even as you see the day approaching. Acts chapter 2, what is referred to as the early church, the believers in Yeshua, were gathered together in one place of one accord on the festival of Shavuot. The thing is, nobody knows that it's Shavuot anymore. Most people don't know that it's Shavuot anymore because there was a little marketing campaign where they changed the name of Shavuot to Pentecost. And they were like, look, the Holy Spirit came on Pentecost. Yes, it did. Pentecost also, drum roll please, is Shavuot, the biblical feast of Shavuot, which is found in Leviticus 23. So the biblical importance of church and gathering together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as iron sharpens iron, so one brother sharpens another. If we're not together, I don't have the context to sharpen you. If we're not together, not studying the word, I'm not hard enough to sharpen you. It's one of the things that I've rebuked people on before, because they've come to me honestly with these weak ass, well, as iron sharpens iron. And I'm like, you understand
what that actually means.
I've sharpened a lot of things in my life. Soft shit does not sharpen hard shit. You have to be at least as hard as I am, if not harder, in that area to be able to sharpen me. That's not an ego thing, but don't be unlearned when you approach somebody and try to rebuke them. You have to be at least as hard as that person is. There's also the element of sharpening. Yes, the stone sharpens the knife, but the knife leaves something on the stone as well. There's an exchange there that happens. And so, but we should all be learned in our word. We should be, like right now, one of the things that's like a pain point for me being in surgical recovery is that there's a 7 a.m. Bible study that happens here. Well, not here, but here amongst us. And I have not been in a position to be at that Bible study in weeks. But there's a lot of really good sharpening that happens there to gather together, praise the Father, and study his word, and to bear each other's burdens, to lift each other up in prayer. And that is not, there are chapter and verse for that, but that is the story of man in the Bible. It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. Boom. Badass helpmeet, right? Hey, I'm going to need that rib. It's going to hurt, but when you get it back, trust me, it's going to be better than ever. All the way forward to, I mean, who is with Yeshua in Revelation 19? The believers. And that's a really interesting question as well, because the remnant of the church that's with Yeshua in Revelation 19, Revelation 12 verse 17 says, the remnant of the church are those that have a testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, of Jesus the Christ, and New Testament, last book in the New Testament, from the Apostle John, who refers to himself as the one that Yeshua loved. John, right? John says, from this revelation, this vision, apocalyptic vision he has from God, the remnant of the church are those that have a testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, and not or maybe, and keep the commands. And who's with Yeshua at the end of an age? Those arrayed in white, clean linen on the battlefield behind him as he goes into battle. Those people. So I would also say that fellowship is important, but fruitless fellowship is probably more detrimental than no fellowship at all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the point of your brothers and sisters, is to, with the support of each other, you grow in your faith. Like, you don't stay stagnant. It's always a learning process, and you're always challenging each other and calling each other on your bullshit.
Yep.
That's kind of the most important part, I feel. When you've gone astray, somebody look at you and go, we all speak the same language.
Right.
And you're wrong.
Exactly. And it takes, number one, it takes a lot to confront someone in regards to when they are going astray.
That bug's really die.
And
I think a frog jumped into the bug zapper.
it also takes a lot to receive that rebuke. Because all too often when people speak those hard truths, we get pissed and we get defensive. And we say, I'm not doing that. You're doing, and it becomes this argument, and you end up shutting that out instead of listening to it. So that is a part of the walk, is being able to receive rebukes and being able to voice rebukes.
I've been rebuked by several brothers in the last 3 years. It's not a comfortable process, but it's a good one. Nobody likes to hear, "Hey, I love you, man, but you were falling on your face." Oh shit.
I love you, but
I love you, but yeah, and that's it's kind of a joke around here, but it's true. I love you, but, and we all have had our "I love you, but" moments, and it's not comfortable, but it's good. And like my wife said, it takes a lot to receive that rebuke. That's why in Matthew 18 it says, if you rebuke a brother and he receives it, you've gained a brother, because that again. The stone sharpens the steel, but the steel leaves filings on the stone. There's an exchange there. And actually, I mean, if we're going to go with this analogy, once you get that slurry on the stone, it does an even better job of sharpening. And yeah, it's hard to find like-minded people. My friends think I'm wrong for following Torah. Melissa Graham, yep, welcome to my world.
You have
And
to build that trust. With the fellowship comes the trust so that you can hear the rebuke. Because you're not going to hear a rebuke from a stranger.
Right.
You have to have built that trust already and know where they stand and what their beliefs are, and that we.
Well, it's something like it might make you mad at first, but you can sit there and after the fact and say, I know this person.
Right.
I know their heart. I know that they have me and what I'm doing as their best interest. Like they're not, and that's the importance of the Torah too, because that's our ultimate arbiter. Yeah.
Truth.
Arbiter of truth. And so when you study it, you know it. And so if you're being challenged by a brother or a sister, you have that information to say, yeah, they are speaking truth to me and I'm wrong, or, you know, they're speaking out of their butt. Like, you know, they're just pissed at me or whatever. But it definitely puts a whole new perspective on life.
Agreed. Well, and to touch on what Renee said, you have to trust the person in order for them to be able to effectively rebuke you. And getting back to fellowshipping, it's one of the issues with the Christian church or the synagogue or anything else, the temple. You don't often see people enough to have the context with them to receive the rebuke that they may have for you. There's not the level of familiarity there that allows you to receive what they have for you, or they don't know, they feel like they don't know you well enough to say anything. And that turns into, well, you know, love the sinner, hate the sin. Show me that shit in the Bible. No, yeah. So, good question here. Montana Sky, can an obedient wife rebuke her husband? Yeah, for sure.
My answer is carefully and prayerfully.
Carefully and prayerfully is an excellent way to put it.
Emotion.
Yep.
Well,
And,
you can, but it's
and
a struggle. Yeah.
I believe women have to walk a very fine line.
Speak up.
I feel women have to walk a very fine line to not be disrespectful in their rebuke.
Yep.
Because it's very easy to
That's why I was saying carefully.
Well, but
cross that line.
but that also illustrates the point that we all should walk very carefully when delivering a rebuke from one person to another, whoever that person is, that we're not heavy-handed when we do it. When you rebuke somebody in love. We're not trying to score points on this person. We're not trying to show them that we're better than them or more learned than them. It's the whole reason you do it is because you love that person. That's why you rebuke them. And if they receive it, sweet. If they don't receive it, you have absolved yourself at this point.
That's not exactly what I was getting at. That's very true. But because a husband and wife are intermeshed, when the husband is needing a rebuke, there's a high potentiality that has caused some feelings on the wife's side.
Mm-hmm.
So when approaching marriage, it would be easy to allow that emotion to
Right.
taint the rebuke with disrespect.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the other thing that happens in intimate relationships, whether the most intimate of which being a husband and wife, but also with people you do life with, is that you know each other well enough that you could easily wound each other intentionally or unintentionally. And so that's the thing.
I was gonna say, speak slow and choose your words wisely. Like, think about the words that you're using.
If a rebuke is not, I can't believe you, blah, blah, blah. That's
Yeah,
Right,
not a
that's
that's
not
not
a
a
rebuke.
review.
No.
That's you
Yep.
screaming at your significant
Right.
other.
Which may still happen. But that's not a
Sometimes
rebuke.
bitch sessions are necessary.
Yeah, but that's not a rebuke.
They're
It's
not
a
a
very different thing.
Right. Yeah, Badger, you're right. Also in the Bear Camp beard oil, we like to apply sweat, sawdust, and cigar smoke. What about having kids and affirming your love for each other to God? No papers, no priest, and splitting up because of what would be called adultery. So listen, you don't need a paper from a man to say you're married. If you have kids with that woman, newsflash, you're married to that woman, biblically speaking. And adultery is the allowable reason for divorce. However, just because it's allowable doesn't mean that it's necessarily right. And that's for you and your partner to decide.
Right. You have to determine where you are in your relationship and repentance. Like, repentance is key, because a lot of times somebody can have a weakness, and that adulterous relationship, whatever that looks like, because the age of technology, there's so many possibilities. But, and I say that just because you said what could be called adulterous. So you have to look at your relationship, and you have to look at, is that person truly sorry for what they did? Because a lot of times those types of things stem from a weakness in a relationship. There's something that's not flowing quite right, and that is why that evil was able to creep in. So look at that, and then make your determination after that analyzing, because it's very easy to be hurt and in pain and sad and to make rash decisions based upon those feelings. But that happening does not necessarily spell doom for your
So I was
relationship.
gonna say,
Like,
it's the ability biblically to divorce. It doesn't mean you have to.
right.
There's people come
You
back
can
from
come
all
out of
kinds
that.
things.
Absolutely. You can come out of that. And your significant other or yourself, whoever was the perpetrator in that, you can be made new in that.
It's repentance. It's teshuvah. Repentance is not something you simply do with your mouth. You have to turn from your ways. And that gets back to, should we baptize children? Does it count? What's your heart condition? Who have you given your heart to? Where are you at? So,
And it also goes to the repentance and the forgiveness. If
Right.
When you repent, and your partner says, "Okay, I forgive you for it,"
Right. You
you
can't
don't wait
keep on
2 months
holding that
later to
shit
bring
over
that
their
crap
head.
Back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
It's gone.
it's
and
done.
That's
Mhm.
You
exactly
can't
right.
hold that grudge.
You sold so many bug zappers.
Can we get these
They
in the
work.
store?
They work, y'all. They work.
And tomorrow in the store,
But we can sell dead bugs.
we could put a bear sticker on it, just like right up underneath.
Right.
Who needs chicken food?
Repent is change of mind. Repent is change of heart.
Heart. Yeah.
The mind is a fickle thing.
Mhm.
It's your heart. Pointing your heart in the appropriate direction back towards the Father is true repentance.
Right.
Because the mind can and will play tricks on us.
Mhm.
The mind is a dangerous place to be, and equating the mind to the mind is one of the last places I would go with obedience to you, because you shall know them by their fruits. I want to see the person's heart. I want to see their hands. What are they doing with that? I want to see their feet. How are they walking? What fruits are they bearing?
Right.
And now we are supposed to have the Father's laws in our mind and written on our heart. We're supposed to have the Father and Yeshua here on our mind 24/7, 365. But the mind tends to be, at least for me, the first place the enemy goes. He has a hard time with my heart. He has a hard time with my hands. It's a hard time with my feet. But if he can get my mind to turn from Yah, right? Where this goes, the rest will follow. And so, for me, repentance is a matter of the heart, not the mind. We want to keep the mind elevated above all the bullshit as much as possible. Keep the mind and all of us in service to the Father as much as possible. But
But the mind plays tricks on you. Like,
for sure,
that's where
That's where
you start thinking those thoughts, like, she doesn't really love me, or he doesn't really love me, and I need to, like, this person makes me feel good. And that's your mind playing those tricks on you. And
the voice of the enemy in
and
your
the voice
mind,
of the enemy in
whispering
your mind.
bullshit to you.
Absolutely.
That goes back to why you need fellowship and the rebuke of people who know you well
Earthman
enough.
333, bless you. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is like, we have personal experience with this, and
exactly, Melissa.
we can
Williams.
speak to this all day long.
Take every thought captive. That's exactly right. Too many people say, I forgive you, when in truth they have only begun the long journey to forgive.
Yes, because it's not quick. Like, you can't instantly, you can agree to go on the path of forgiveness, that's gonna to be the path that you're gonna work towards. But total forgiveness of a situation like that does not happen.
It's not as much the forgiveness. To me, the forgiveness happens instantly. The connection has to be rebuilt. If people want to say
Reestablish
They
The
trust.
fire has to be
you
rekindled,
have to
and
rebuild. You severed that connection. When
Right.
there's sin, there's a severing of connection even between a husband and a wife, and that connection has to be rebuilt. And it took a while to get there, and it can be quickly broken. But you have to be willing to put in the time, and you have to agree to want to put in the work, because it's work.
it's gonna be work.
It's like
Yeah.
you blew up that bridge. It's not just gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
come back.
Yeah, and a drawbridge.
Yeah.
It's a pile of rubble.
Right. It's
And you
gonna be
decide,
like,
is it worth
okay,
it?
hand me your phone. Let me check and see what you've been doing. Let me check your social media. Like,
And if
you're
somebody
gonna
wants
have to
repent,
go, and
oh, no.
the other person on the other side of that has to be humble enough, has to have enough humility to be like, okay, yeah, here you go. Like,
It's awesome, Anthony Jensen. When my wife told me she was late, I struggled with forgiveness until I held her new baby, and then I realized I was blessed. Yep.
It takes a lot of work to keep going.
it takes a
Keep it
lot of
going
work
good.
to keep
Even
going.
when it's good.
But that's how you know, like, you have that relationship. And that that's what makes like every other thing worth fighting for, is like when you have those really, really hard moments and you can work past that and come out of that and become stronger, you know, okay, I am in this. We are in this, and there is nothing that is going to destroy us.
Passing through the refiner's fire. That's in Proverbs. There's a lot of good stuff in Proverbs. If y'all aren't doing the Proverbs challenge, I would recommend you do it. Just there's a proverb for every day of the month. Just read the proverb of the day and do it for a year. What's up, Jay Higginbotham? You're on fire tonight. Good job.
Thanks.
I love all you guys. It's really tough in the mind living in Connecticut, not being around like-minded people. Yeah, I've been to Connecticut, man. It's been a while, but I can see that. I married my wife after she went through breast cancer because I saw her beauty on the inside more than the outside. She's still the most beautiful woman I know next to my mother. That's awesome. Tactically, Torah, what's going on, brother? Do you ship to Canada? I don't know. Do we ship
Every
to
day.
Canada?
We do.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. But like, there is a thing with taxes. I'm just going to say, like,
Oh,
shipping internationally and even just across the border can be an absolute pain in the ass. And we have changed the way that we do it a couple of different times. And it seems to kind of depend
Gotta
on
cost.
where exactly we are shipping to that determines which services we use. But yes, we do. But know that Canada may come knocking at your door
asking for
telling
money.
you owe duties or VAT tax. I don't even know what all it's called, but they may ask more money of you.
It's not us, it's them, government.
Right. It's not us. Yeah, that's your government.
Which ain't much in Canada.
But the ancient might save you some money, so you should get shit.
Sir, why does your head look so big?
That helps.
Because it's
'Cause
friggin'
his
big.
beard, like it adds.
Well, also, I'm sitting closer to the camera than you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I want to see your face. Our heads.
but still, it's
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're more normal.
Thanks, babe. This is really nice.
Thanks.
It's really nice.
It looks like the picture you have on your wall.
Even scared of the four winds, we can still come together on the internet. Agreed. Can we mail order Canucks and have them shipped here?
It's the only way they're probably getting out of Canada.
Probably. What if we just ship a crate to Crazy Canuck, and inside of it there's some food and water and a composting toilet, and we're just with a note that's like, get in the
Come
crate,
get the coat.
don't ask any questions. Not to change the subject, but any Sasquatch report. That's a hard turn. No,
We've been here. If Sasquatch showed up, we wouldn't know.
that's true. We'd have to ask
Sam's
Dudley.
still here, Otto's still here.
Right. Yeah.
I made cookies.
What kind of
You made cookies?
Cookies? They're hot. They're fresh.
This is like cookies.
They're chocolate chip cookies
And
with
Joseph
salt
Moulton, bless you.
dusted on them.
Salt dusted.
Like a salty
Ooh, they're
chocolate.
like
Yeah, fresh.
should still be on the pan.
Like
They're
molten.
fine.
Bigfoot squirrel sightings. No, is that one for me?
Yeah.
Do you have
They're really hot.
you have more in the hoose?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying it's the last one. So
No. It's because there's one.
That's what you wanted to share with us on the.
Did Aspen help?
No, no. Just laying down.
Good job.
Oh,
Thank you.
Did you make up with your bull?
No,
no.
my
Let's quit being so ornery.
my
getting out
directors
every
of
day.
ranch hand operations, Phelps and Dudley, and I think other members of the camp as well. While we were gone, apparently all the sheep escaped and ended up like 2 properties over eating grass back by your cabin, I think.
Thank you. That was the close.
Yeah, that was the cow.
That was the cows.
It was the cows that were back
Yeah.
there. That's what I
Not
said.
the-
That's what I
Yeah, the
meant to
cows
see.
made it like
So, but they're all back inside their pen right now. And I mean, honestly,
That's a long hike. Like, it's quite the work to get them back in their pen over here.
They heard me when I said I want cows. But
That's why everybody has new side by side.
Is that what it is?
Power Wranglers.
EH
I know they didn't make it
Nebraska's
all the
here.
way to my house because I would have been like freaked out.
Mr.
if I was outside.
EH Nebraska.
You know, was like saying
We
that's in my
salute
car.
you. EH Nebraska has been a patron of the channel
For a
since
long
the
time.
Squid and Bear days. Way back. I mean, we're talking years.
I walk outside. I'm like, there's a horse.
Focus.
We don't have a horse. We've had him.
It's like, what a horse.
It's not finders keepers.
Neighbors didn't protect you.
Yeah, it,
Praise you,
Canada's
Jonathan.
really weird. Like, if you're near like a more like metropolitan area, like the shipping's not bad. But you get like further out, it can go up, and like their systems are crazy. Like, I had one customer, like, I paid the taxes because there was a bunch of loopholes, but we ended up paying the taxes. And they went to ship it again and shipped it. Well, apparently, like, there was like still stickers on the package that said like COD, like collect on delivery. And so the driver tried to collect again. And of course the customer knew, like, hey, these guys had paid, you know, I had been talking to him. He said, hey, they've paid this. I don't owe anything. If you say I owe something, I'm going to refuse it. So he refused it again and called me and told me. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I called the customs agency, which is really hard to get a hold of. And they're like, oh, yeah, we forgot to pull the stickers off the box. I'm like, really? Like, you don't have like a, you know, like a software, something that
There isn't a protocol.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, where you take all the stickers off the box before you resend the box. Hey,
Walk into the back of the warehouse and do it.
and so that's what I'm saying. Like, it just really depends on where you are.
but yes, we ship to Canada. I'm gonna sneeze.
That's the longest answer to get.
Yeah. Maybe. I think one of those little gnats flew up my nose. I had one that flew in my ear canal on the Patreon live stream last night and then just stayed there. I was like, oh, we're here now. Okay, so be it.
No, I would have been like,
Not yours.
You can't effectively yell at dogs and eat cookies at the same time.
I can't do.
I don't think so.
I'll give them chocolate.
Hey, Bear, I got the 2 Cub sets I ordered from you. Great set. That box had everything inside but the fluffy bunnies. Roger that. That's because fluffy bunnies
Or Adventure
come from
Frontier.
AdventureFrontier.com. Renee did not make chocolate chip cookies. Cheyenne made, what were those? What, salted caramel?
Chocolate chip cookies that I put salt on.
They're salted chocolate chip cookies.
Really?
They're good.
No, that chocolate.
I added extra chocolate to it.
yeah, expected shipping times on the site. We probably should update that. To like,
Probably.
Yeah, it's
should.
not 1 to 3 weeks. It's
now
like
it's like now.
a
Yeah.
day.
Well, I don't know. They may have blown us out. Right.
If
Maybe.
it was business hours right now, we
No,
would be
what?
packing your order.
Can over 6 gallons of kosher dough pickers this last week. Don't can kosher, Dad. I now have another 10 gallons of cucumbers ready to pickle. That's awesome. Go to sleep, Florida man. Yeah, we got to do that too here in a minute. What's up, Electric Soldier? Shalom Blue Cord. Nels Mohawk. What's up, Nels? Tread on this. What's going on? Tread on this is another person who saved a life with a bare fact.
Mm-hmm.
He's a member of the alumni. Good to see you, sir.
That was the crash victim with the leg.
That was number 16.
Mhm.
Tread on this was number 16. By the way, Tread on this, we're up to 18 lives saved. So, hey, what's up, Sam?
We need to get people their own patches. Like,
That would be a great idea.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
I'm responsible for life number 17.
Yep.
Like,
That's a great idea.
wear it
We
as a
gotta go
badge
back
of
and
honor.
Do all of them.
That is a great idea. Get off of me, Junebug.
Who's the admin on that?
Thank
I've already
you,
sent
Tread
a
on
message
this.
to Adam.
Bless you, bro.
I already sent a message to myself.
Do this tomorrow.
That is a great idea.
Yes, baby.
We can put those patches on the like the trainer shirts or something.
You don't have to
That might
buy
be
them
a
new
lot,
shirts
but-
every time.
I don't know that patches are any easier to acquire than shirts are. I think like on the trainer shirts, we just need to silk screen on a new number every time. So
Come on, the bugs are gonna get you.
like being around a campfire. Romans, bless you, brother. Thank you for the video, guys. Love seeing other conservatives with the faith as their foundations. Amen, Sir Jackson. Background is a bear fact. Challenge coin. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We know people who can make challenge coins. Something. We
I
need.
could see that as
I like that. I had a package automatically returned to a sender because the address doesn't exist. It was a repeat shipment. I think they're just getting lazy. Yep.
And we've had that
We've
too.
had that.
Like we've had people.
I've had my packages returned and they said like I didn't exist, and I'm like, I was here. You didn't.
Your
even...
coffee mug, your Patreon coffee mug got returned to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's moving here. I'll just hold on to it.
That was before we moved up.
What's up, Matt Hartley? Yeah, we've been gone, man. We took a little working vacation, and between that and surgery that I had, I've just been laying lower than usual. So they tell me my address doesn't exist, but my husband likes it that way. Well, there you go.
Right. And there's some of those, like, because we do have like the Google Maps or whatever, but our system uses USPS maps or their address system. So, like, if you don't have a mailbox that you get,
Whatever,
regular snail mail at, a lot of times our system will say it's an invalid address. However, there's a thing called Google. A lot of times I just copy and paste and search you guys' addresses.
Awesome, do stuff.
And if it pings, if it pulls up, I'm like, okay, like they just live out in BFE and UPS will deliver to them, just not USPS.
Couple of good questions. Where did it go? Kirk Olson, have you talked to Tim Ballard? He could help a lot. I've not talked to Tim, but I've talked to his wife. And Caleb House is going to be built to Operation Underground Rescue's standards for an aftercare facility, which exceeds the standards required by the Department of Homeland Security. So they did us a major solid by providing us all the information we needed to make sure that when we build Caleb House and the team that's going to run Caleb House, we're meeting all of their requirements. And if we meet all of their requirements, we will meet or exceed all of DHS's requirements. And that will put us in a position that if OUR has kids that they need to place, we would be able to take them. But also same thing through DHS. If we meet OUR's requirements, which are up here, we've met DHS requirements, which are down here. And they saved us a ton of legwork of having to interface with DHS to get the specifics of what they need for aftercare facilities. And so I haven't met or talked with Tim, but I have spoke with his wife on the phone. Very cool person. And then let's see, another person. Where did it go? Somebody said, Bear, I'm wondering, have you been baptized? Literally just talked about being baptized 3 times.
I'm
So
gonna have 3 more cookies.
what?
Who's gonna be the odd one out that doesn't get one? Not Renee or Phelps.
What state is Caleb House going to be in? Well, it's Caleb with a K, and it will be in Oklahoma. Okay.
Oh, would you like the cookie? Oh, let's see how much.
A challenge coin would be an outstanding conversation piece, help direct towards the father and preparedness foundation style. I love it. Molon Lave 2021. I get this question regularly. Bear, after the ammo runs out, what weapon of choice? First of all, bro, ammo ain't going to run out. Second of all, there's this thing called battlefield pickup. Third, I've been running an axe longer than I've been running a rifle.
Right. I like flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Personally. I got Torchy,
Torchy.
500,000 BTUs coming at you.
I love the fact that you named it.
Oh yeah, I
Torchy.
named it. Things
Daniel,
awesome.
Daniel, we were talking about Chains Unchained earlier. For everybody who wasn't here earlier, who says with a face full of homemade chocolate chip cookie, chainsunchained.com. Christian Metal Festival, July 23rd, 24th, Springfield, Missouri area. It's going to benefit Grindstone this year. There's a lot of awesome bands. I will be there. Fo will be there. And I believe the expectation is for me to talk about Caleb House at some point. It's going to be awesome. And so if you're into metal, if you're into serving the Father, and you're into going to the Springfield, Missouri area and partying in the name of Yah for a weekend, come on with it. It's chainsunchained.com. Chainsunchained.com. Yeah, really, Electric Soldier. Let's do it.
Good job.
Daniel, I appreciate the invite, man. Thank you so much. Daniel and his crew have been big supporters of Grindstone and Caleb House behind the scenes for a long time as well. So thank you, brother, for supporting what we do. It's awesome. Mouse is going to be there.
Mouse is gonna bring you more of those cigars.
Oh, my gosh. If he brings me another one of those cigars, I'm going to die. Bring an ambulance with it. It's delicious. It's just huge. That's awesome, Mouse. Your wife is pretty awesome. I don't want to get fragged by Torchy. My wife is very awesome. And she will smoke your ass with a flamethrower.
Or anything
Or a
else.
chainsaw,
Yeah.
or a gun, or
Nice, Anthony.
Fogging up.
Yeah, tell them about your chainsaw.
My glasses. Auto, no.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
what I did today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was driving back from the doctor.
Yeah.
And I get a text message. It's like, hey, when you get home, can you help me start my chainsaw? And I was like, yeah, my wife is badass. But you should tell them why it didn't start. So,
Well, yeah, like it was early morning
Take off
and
my glasses. They're foggy.
Oklahoma has been hot and humid as hell. So I was up early, I finished my coffee, and I knew basically if I didn't get started with my day, it was going to end up getting too hot and I wasn't going to end up doing anything. So I wanted to take care of some smaller trees that we have on property that I have other plans for. Basically, they're
we're gonna put an orchard in.
right. I've got fruit trees that I need to figure out placement for, and we have very limited sunlight. And so my whole thought is I would rather have fruit trees than like ornamental trees. And so my morning started out with me wanting to thin out, get rid of the ornamentals to make room for these fruit trees. And I went to start my chainsaw and spent about a good solid minute like cranking, pulling the cord, trying to get it fired up, and it would not turn over at all. And so my chainsaw knowledge is very limited. It's
Poquito.
very little. And so I texted T and I was like, hey, when you get home, would you mind looking at this and see if you can get it started?
If he can't get
And-
it started.
Right.
Ask him.
Well, and he knows, like, he already had it out, so he ended up putting it on the back of his truck. And number one, there was water in the fuel. And number two, my spark plug was kind of gummed up. And so he did a little filing on that and went over to the burn pile and dumped out all the bad gas and put in new fresh gas. And within a couple of pulls, it fired right back up.
Tavar, I think that's a great channel idea.
I mean, cooking with honey with stabby things in torchy too. Like, there's always the stabby thing. I love it. She's like, he knows a little bit about chainsaws. Like the man who can tell you the year, make, and model of a chainsaw being used 3
Yeah,
mops over.
ask Dr. Trevor about chainsaws.
And then we got after it, and because it's been a while since a chainsaw. It's probably been a good
Year?
half a year, like at least half a year, if not a whole year. And so I was like, hey, before
Good night,
I go all
Daniel.
hog wild with this thing, can you give me a little bit of a refresher course?
I don't think you've used it since I've been
Because
here.
I've totally like smacked myself in the face with little seedling twig things, like cutting them the wrong way that they came back on the bar and went flap and like whiplashed me in the face. And that hurts. Hurts a lot to be hit in the face with the switch.
Mhm.
Pretty
Literally
much, yeah.
cutting your own switch and getting stuck in
Speaking of chainsaws, what's the best 20-inch saw? Well, the best is subjective, bro. If you're gonna use it occasionally, up to producing firewood every year, I'd say like a steel 290. I'm a steel guy, not a Husqvarna guy, but I will say that Husqvarna does make some good saws. But the Husqvarnas that you'll get at Lowe's have issues with the oilers and the bar tensioner. They run 20-inch bars, but they're not good. And also the lug that's mounted in the body of the saw that you torque the nut down to hold the bar onto will pull out of the body of the saw. So they might say Husqvarna on them, but they're not professional quality saws. They're homeowner saws. I don't buy those. So the steel 290, the 20-inch bar will serve you well for occasional to moderate use. If you're going to be doing more than that on a homestead, a 392 is recommended. The 392 is a lot of saw for most people. It's probably the high end of what I would recommend for homestead use. The 362, which is a lower model number than the 392, it's like that's a professional saw. The 362 has a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower. It cuts like a hot knife through butter. And if you're going to use it a lot, that's where I would go. Now, if you're like timber felling, like that's my job, I cut trees for a living, 461, like
That's mine.
a 171.
Yeah, mine's a baby.
You have a 171. I don't know if they make a smaller one than
So,
that. But for you, it works
what it
great.
sounds like.
It was $179 when I got it.
Yeah, I love it. It's perfect.
And you felled pine trees around here with it.
Yeah.
Like, you.
Yeah, our little like that
Yep.
biggish.
Yep. So I'd say probably a 290 with 20-inch bar for occasional use. For moderate use, a 392, 391, 392. And I have a 25-inch bar on my 392, and I love it. The 392 is like a diesel truck compared to the 262, which is like a race car. And the 262, I have a 20-inch bar on the 262, and it just tears, man. It's an absolutely awesome saw. So that's what I would recommend. And then if you run chainsaws every day, you don't need me to answer this question. You already have a Husky 372. Yeah, I see it. It's
A birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday. You're right, it is. Just stopped in to say the
No.
time, not the day.
What?
But yeah, I'm a steel fan. But if you cut timber every day, you already have your Husqvarna 372 XP, or your steel 461, or your Johnson Red, or whatever. So yeah, 362 with a full wrap. I've got the same thing with a 20-inch bar on it, and I absolutely love it.
Always look at the clock.
My dad gave me a steel 034 AV. Is it worth fixing? If you can get the parts for it. Right now, supply chain is a real thing. So if you can get the parts for it, and the case and the frame is good, probably. Yeah, 661 for sure. I got no 66 Magnum with a 32-inch bar on it that I love. I've had that saw 20 years, and it rocks. What cigar you got tonight? This right here is a Ruination. It's a Man of War Ruination Warhorse cut by AJ Fernandez. But I was smoking earlier and had to give up on it because it was too big. This beast, for comparison, and the Warhorse is a big cigar. I was smoking this beast earlier, and this requires a lot more diligence than I'm able to give it while live streaming. What's up, Liberty? Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Hey, Liberty, I was thinking y'all needed to get some security emus. Not emos, that'd be weird. A bunch of goth kids running around on your property. But me and Harmony were like, hey, like you guys should have security emus so you could have like the Liberty emu on site.
Everybody's coming here tomorrow.
Is she? Cool.
Gotta take care of the children.
The chillins? Oh, that's right.
We leave it.
Yo, John Russell, I've been looking at the 500i. I've heard that it takes them a little bit of time to really liven up, but that the acceleration is instant, which I'm like, I don't have a good reason to buy a 500i, but man, I've been keeping an eyeball on them. A chainsaw.
Oh, you don't even know a chainsaw.
I know. Well, we have 4 steel chainsaws, which is how many more do you need? So
Don't have that many hands.
right.
Right.
Bear, do you run a compound bow or crossbow setup? No, I run neither of those things.
Better start training with your toes.
I am not a bow hunter. You never say hi. 3 dogs and a paw. Well, you know, I got to see your comment to say hi. So, hi. Hey, bro, Phoenix Homestead in the house. What's up, Phoenix Homestead? Phoenix Homestead here? Where is he? That's my bro. I know Phoenix Homestead. Or is the Century Prime one, are you Phoenix Homestead? Steel T200. You mean a 200T top handle? All good, 3 dogs. Run premium gas and good oil. That's an excellent comment. Do not run ethanol fuel in your saws either. Yes, roger that. Good. I had a guy that in 1 week turned 2 290s and my 200T top handle arborist saw into wheel chops because he kept running the chipper over the top of them. Yes, I am both. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Oregon bars. They're not bad. I prefer the steel Roll-O-Matic or the steel lightweight bars when you get into the 25-inch and larger. But the Roll-O-Matics are good. Archangel Shaloha. Love you back. Now it's time to stock up on oil mix for saw gas. Yes. Also, any type of oil honestly will work. In a pinch, I've used motor oil. I've used ATF. I've used old motor oil. Can Hami do a canning video? Ashley, after all the pressure canning these ladies did last summer, I don't know if they will ever can anything again. So
They want pressure canning. It's out there. There's a video of it out there.
yeah. They were giving them out to firefighters last year fighting wildfires. Oregon bars are great. Nice. Tamra, I like the content of your live chat. Very versatile, so I had to subscribe. Well, thanks for coming on board, Tamra. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We hit a wide array of subject matter, faith and preparedness and relationships and the tactical things and the homesteading and entrepreneurship and basically, you know, and medical stuff and everything that we talk about. And we really try to not talk about things that we aren't or that we don't know. So getting ready to can up dog food out of a goat that died of shock from miscarriage. I'm sorry to hear that, Leslie. Call me crazy. I'm looking at a dual terminal chainsaw for a grid down scenario. How are solar set up in charge of battery? Yeah. I've heard a lot about these electric chainsaws. I haven't gone there yet. So, Bear, can I accomplish similar results with a cheap Academy freeze dryer? Sergey, I don't know because we've only had the one. I don't know anything about the cheap ones, but I would say that you're going to get what you pay for. Anybody heard from
Dehydrator
who?
is not
That
a
guy?
freeze dryer.
No. Yeah, well, a freeze dryer and dehydrator are two different things.
Harvest Right's the only ones that make freeze dryers.
14 quarts of chicken. Good job, Bama Buckeye. I'm the oldie weirdo here, probably for sure, but peace, Bear Nation. It's all good. We're all weirdos. See, that's the thing. Like, we're us. We're all weird. We just wear our weird on the outside where you can see it so that you know at first glance, hey, those people are weird. And then you can make a determination. Are they my kind of weird? Did we just become best friends? You know, and
that's underneath going, no, you're different.
yeah, you are a different kind of weird, and that's okay.
Somebody asked about your alter ego. Is he coming back?
The pretender to the throne? I don't know. Maybe. Meat suits. That's exactly right, Jason.
From behind the black curtain, the white curtain.
Me and Dudley got a couple things planned for that particular channel. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And maple syrup, but yeah, that should be fun.
I have an 18-volt Milwaukee chainsaw with 16-inch bar. It works okay, but have several batteries ready to go, or don't bother bringing it out. Yeah, roger that. And see, that's what I grew up on gas saws. I think almost everybody grew up on gas saws. There's something to be said that, you know, I'm running through a half a gallon of fuel every 15 minutes in an 066 when I'm bucking. But gosh dang, I am bucking with an 066. I could cut this house in half with my 066. That saw rocks. So, what's up, Justin? It's going. Do you want us all works good for branching? Oh, you're doing talk to text, aren't you? I grew up on hand saws. Yeah, there's that too. I'll stick with my Echo contractor grade for farm use. Yeah. Have any recommendations for handguns that are more affordable than Glock but still good quality? Mr. E.H. Nebraska. It's good to see you again, man. I've heard really good things about the Palmetto Dagger, but I don't actually own one yet. But it's basically a Gen 3 Glock 19 clone for $300, which is why I don't own one yet, because everybody and their mom is trying to buy them. The Taurus, they're okay. The G2C and the G3, they're okay. Are they go to war ready? Not for me, because my hands are the size of my hands, but they're too small for me to get my mitts on. The Canics are very reasonably priced, and they're good pistols. EAA makes several knockoffs of, like, for example, the M9 Beretta 92 FS. That instead of being $1,000 is $300, and I've heard good things about those. Man, I don't know other than that. Yeah, Canik TP9, exactly, Nick. I'm a Glock guy because they work. So y'all are making me wish I had a bug zapper. That thing is working hard. Yeah, I'm telling you. What you guys don't see off camera are the other 1,000 bugs that haven't flown into it yet. My Sky, SCCY, has never failed to go bang. The DBG should be nice. So those things, again, for me, with these, they're too small for me. So, well, 1911, sure, but we're talking about the whole onus of the question was reasonably priced guns, and cheap 1911s aren't good, and good 1911s aren't cheap. So Barrett, how will I ever sell my warehouse full of ammo? Nebraska prepper, you come to me and we'll make it happen. Handguns that are more affordable than Glock, but still good quality. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. The thing with the Glock is it the newest, best? No, but how many times do we have to get on the trope of the latest, greatest polymer-framed 9mm striker-fired pistol? The Glock works, and it works for me. But I'm also the guy that can hide a Glock 17 with this hand. The full-size Glock, I can make it disappear with my hand. This is... simmer down, Todd. This is for instructional purposes only. This is a 19X. Okay. So, and it's, I don't know what those cost. I think they're $650, somewhere in that range. And I like it. It goes bang when I need it to go bang. I mean, the other day we were back at the range. All my brothers over here were singing the bear mating call back at the range, and I just had to go join them. So I went back there with my Glock 21 and 45 auto. I slammed the magazine into the butt of the gun. The base plate comes off, pisses 13 rounds of 45 auto into the mud, and it was mud because it had just been pouring rain for a week out here. 6 inches of mud, 6 inches of standing mud back at the range. So just pisses ammo into the mud. And so I'm like, copy that, drop the busted mag, go to reload, fumble the reload. The reload goes into the mud, and I'm like, screw it, it's a Glock. So I pick the muddy magazine up out of the mud, slam it in the mag, rack the slide, go to work. And I fixed 6 or 7 or 8 failures to feed by smacking the back of the gun. But that gun ran full of mud. It worked. I had to fix it, but it worked. So, yeah, I was still making hits, man. And so everybody wants to, not everybody, but a lot of people want to knock the Glock. It works. Drop the magazine in 6 inches of mud, pick it up, slam it into the gun, rack the slide. It works. So it'll be fine. Exactly. It was fine. So, is a Glock worth $600, $700? If you don't have $600 or $700, the answer is no. If you do, there's this constant argument of what's your life worth. If you ever have to use it, I want it to work when I need it to work. So, and the critical failure point, to the extent that I've had failures with Glocks, have been the magazines. And so rotate your magazines out. And even the new mags that I got with my Glock 17 a year and a half ago, I had to break those magazines in before the follower would reliably slide up and down inside of the mag body, because I was getting failures to feed. It was really annoying because it was a brand new gun. But after shooting a few hundred rounds, the magazines started to loosen up. Everything kind of wore in, and it's 100% reliable now. I prefer double action to single action. Gustav, that's got to be a training thing, man. I hate double action to single action, but to each their own. I've used the Glock magwell as a makeshift hammer, only minimal plastic warp. Yeah, just made a better magwell. Safest real gun to start teaching the youngins with, 22. Yep.
That kind of goes back to the tourniquet thing. You got them buy it. $5 tourniquet, but what's your life worth?
Exactly.
And that thing breaks on you.
Exactly. I saved $20, but the person I love is dead. Yep. We'll do a couple more minutes, y'all, then we're gonna put a bow on this thing. All right. Unpopular opinion time, or at least other side of the coin opinion time. Sergey said, California ruled AR-15 ban unconstitutional. What a coincidence, since China is threatening full-scale war. Maybe, World War III is already underway, and it's being fought with ones and zeros, not conventional guns, tanks, bombs, planes, so forth and so on. If it goes conventional, if it goes hot, look at the scale of war over the last 100 years. I'm not a globalist. I'm not a fan of one world government or any of that. But look at the scale of war over the last 100 years. The de-escalation of conventional warfare over the last 100 years has been, frankly, quite successful. We have smaller, limited engagements now, not full-blown open warfare. And so the likelihood for me of full-blown open warfare is very low right now. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? I'm going to say no. Well, that's what they want you to think, Barry, because, bro, nobody needs to pop an EMP. You just hack the freaking networks and it's done. Nobody needs to fire a shot, because if you can't eat, you die. Or if the water doesn't run, you die. Or if the sewage backs up, you die. Or if the hospitals don't work, you die. And so, again, is conventional warfare possible? Yes. Should we be ready for it? Yes. Is it likely? I'm going to go with no. So that's where, unpopular opinion time. But can't eat silver coins. Nope, can't eat them. But if you got mountains of food, they're nice to have. I realized the severe lack of training a few weeks ago when my wife couldn't handle my 12 gauge when there was a rattlesnake by the generator and I was out to town. Yeah.
12 gauge can be a little much for a lady.
It can be, if you look at somebody like Lena Michalek, who's, or any other professional shooter who trains with it, they do a great job with it.
Yeah.
That being said, I like the 20 because everybody in the house can run it.
Right.
So.
And for a rattlesnake, the 20 should be plenty.
Oh, yeah. For anything, a 20 is plenty. That's why we run them. If it didn't work for human-sized targets, it wouldn't be a viable option for us. She's a boss. Yes, she is. In fact, I had my daughter the other day. We were talking about training drills and all that. I was like, here, watch Lena shoot stuff because she's really good at it. But her daddy's Jerry Michalek. If she wasn't good at it, I'd be suspicious.
Right.
So, looking for a 20 gauge to buy really soon. We have the youth model Mossberg 500 and 20 gauge, a couple of them, and they just crank, man. They're awesome. Training without going hot. What's that look like? Simunition or dry fire? She's a decent teacher too. Awesome. I've not met her. I think she's awesome, but I've not met her. I think she's awesome based upon what I know of her. So, but hey guys, I gotta pee. It's 10:45 at night. We've been on here for over 3 hours. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting our small businesses. 18 lives saved. And it's y'all that are doing this. It's the Bear Nation that are doing this. We appreciate you guys greatly. Use the promo code if you're going to be shopping in the store. It's good until tomorrow night. 18 lives, 18 LIVES, 18 lives for 18% off. Thank y'all. Shalom. What's up, Zub? Good night, brother.